Hello, hello. Good evening. And also thank you for the hydrate time. Hello, hello. I hope you're all doing good. Where is my sound? Wait. There it is. Welcome in. It's already Thursday. I cannot believe it is Thursday. Oh my god. I hope my internet holds up today because it has not been very reliable lately. Again, it's a pain, but it is what it is. So we're just gonna hope it finally works the way it should for once. It's out of touch Thursday. You're out of touch, out of time. It sure is. I forgot to tweet the whole that I am live thing. Oopsie. My god. Sometimes I feel like I don't stream for a few days and suddenly I've forgotten everything and anything ever. It's so bad. But yeah, it do be out of touch Thursday. Originally I wanted to play this game yesterday already and then I didn't. Well, because, you know, it's not fun if the Wi-Fi doesn't work when you get home, then you get it to work, but then you're like, okay, but if it already didn't work when I came home, I don't trust it enough to stay working. But here we are, thank you for the pads. And we are finally back with More Trouble Comes Twice. More trouble comes twice, because trouble coming twice just once is not enough. Assuming I can find my guide again because I have so much stuff open where I'm very well prepared for the stream tomorrow. Our last time we finished Jason's and Adrian's route, so now we've done both of the they each date the childhood friend routes, which means our next goal here would be Hazel and Stephanie, because I like Stephanie very much, just design-wise. There she is. Yeah, there we are. Okay, good. I have everything I want. I am honestly unsure though if I should do the entire game like 100%, like every single route, because that is a lot. That is a lot still. Another eight routes, so we're gonna see. But on the other hand, now we've played both twins once, so the beginning stuff should be fast. We'll come back right to see again. Would you like to skip the intro? Yes, actually. Where is my controller so you don't have to hear me clicking my mouse so many times? Switch. Yep. No, that is not the button I want. Okay, we would like to play as Hazel. Okay. Yep. And then skip everything we've seen before. And go for Stephanie. Choose Stephanie. Yes. Okay, this should still be the same as always because we've already read the beginning of the game. Oh, this is... Here goes Shovel, make it double! For real. I am pressing many wrong buttons. Hold on. This is not... Okay. Let's see. So this is the same all around. I wonder what the difference is then. Smash the whole family. Maybe not. Dumpty. Yep. Oh wow, Sorry, 1 second. Okay. You must for the motherland? she is. Don't worry about it. But this is still the entire first part is still the whole, oh my god, actually getting to know everyone, huh? We've seen all of this. Smile at him. Blah 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 blah. Stephanie! There we go. There we go. Surprised, Stephanie jumps back a step. In the process, she almost knocks over a whole row of instruments. I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to sneak up on you. I was watching you in secret, but I didn't do it to be weird, I promise. Okay, good start, good start. It's okay, no need to freak out. I hate when someone interrupts me during practice. Outside recitals, I strongly prefer not to have an audience. Especially not an uninvited one. I can't bring myself to scold Stephanie though, it's obvious she already feels bad enough. What are you doing here anyway? Did they double book the room again? It happens frequently enough to be a serious annoyance. The reception sucks at keeping track of bookings. Stephanie shakes her head, disproving my assumption. No, that's not why I'm here. My eyes fall on the heavy documents in her hands. It doesn't even take a second for me to piece the puzzle together. Rachel sent you to deliver papers for her again? I don't want to believe that Rachel has the audacity to send Stephanie to run her errands for her twice in one day, but Stephanie's wobbly smile says it all. Yes? Arrogant, brazen, insolent, ugh! It's a long string of disturbingly creative curse words. Stephanie cowers slightly at my outburst. I immediately feel bad, reeling in my anger with the little restraint I can summon. I'm not upset at her, I'm annoyed for her. Going to mention name, but here's you! Hi! That's okay, let's calm down, I inhale and exhale and I inhale and all that. Is this supposed to calm me down? I don't feel calmer. Does she have anyone else to run her errands, like, I don't know, actual members of the student council? I'm not sure. But I genuinely don't mind anyway. It might sound weird to you, but I'm flattered she thinks highly enough of me to request my help. She doesn't think highly of you, she just thinks you're easy to use. How do I say this? People often think I'm not capable enough to help with things I mean. Most of the time they don't even bother to ask if I'd like to try. Oh, that sounds frustrating. It is frustrating. I'm not a child. I know what I can and cannot do. It's rude to not even give me a chance to decide for myself. Anyway, that's why I don't mind when Rachel asks me to do something. If anything, I take it as a compliment. I see. As much as I admire your optimism, that psycho's definitely taking advantage of it. It's not really any of my business, so I normally turn a blind eye to Rachel's shenanigans. It can't be helped that certain people are too weak-willed to stand up to her. It's different with Stephanie. For some reason, it just doesn't sit right with me that Rachel's messing with her like this. But what can I even do about it? I'm not Stephanie's guardian. She has the right to decide for herself what she says. My silence must have made Stephanie even more nervous. She starts fidgeting, stammering out a longer explanation. Anyway, I was on my way to the teacher's office when I heard music playing from here. I was going to pass by, but then I noticed it was you, so I got curious and stayed for a while to listen. It's the inverse of your own perception of things. I'm really sorry and embarrassed. I don't know what I was thinking. I know you hate when people interrupt you during practice. It's fine if it's you. The words slip out without thinking, surprising myself. Stephanie shares my surprise. Huh? I'm not sure if she heard me the first time or not, but I can't muster the courage to repeat myself. Hopefully she didn't hear. God, why did I have to praise it so sappily? You're quiet like a mouse. If I didn't turn around, I wouldn't even have noticed you. It would be weird to be bothered by someone I didn't even notice was there, don't you think? I say it like that, that's even worse. My phrasing leaves much to be desired. I'm lucky Stephanie's too nice to take it the wrong way. Somebody thinks I could do something, unlike me. I could be useful, maybe, for once. That's interesting. But in her case, it very much is just getting taken advantage of. Instead of someone thinking she's capable. Oh, I suppose that makes sense. It doesn't make sense at all, but Stephanie's polite enough to nod like it does. In the future, if I want to watch you practice, I will make sure to stay quiet and out of sight, then it's fine, right? Or, even better, I could move my cursor out of the fucking way so it's not on the screen the entire time. You could simply ask if I don't mind you watching. Oh, you would say yes? For my favorite underclassman? Of course. Makisi returns to the document in her arms. You should deliver those papers before it's too late. But next time, don't hesitate to tell Rachel you don't want to. I mind the cursor. I do. Because on one hand, I want to keep it on there for one, because I paid good money to get that custom cursor made. 2, it's cute as hell. And 3, I can easily show when I want to show something on screen. I can just go, oh. But I don't like it when it's like smack dab in the middle somewhere. It's like the teacher leaving it in the middle of the YouTube video or movie. When you're watching a movie in school, they leave it in the middle of the screen. You're like, please move it. I know I could turn it off. That OBS doesn't actually record it. But I specifically turned it on. Yeah, I usually put it like somewhere down here, because then it is behind my logo. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Is my alert not working? I'll put it right here. No, I could put it here. Glad to be here. Well, come in. If you always do whatever she wants, her requests are only going to get more and more outrageous. Ah, damn it. Okay, I need to put it at the end of the box. Delivering documents to a teacher isn't exactly outrageous. Well, I'm talking about the future. Instead of taking my warning seriously, Stephanie looks amused. You really don't like her, do you? If she asks, I simply disagree with some of her methods. But between just the 2 of us, I think I would rather befriend the reincarnation of Satan before sitting down with Rachel for a cup of tea. So you really don't like her? There's nothing to like about her in the first place, so she's easy to despise. I clear my throat. Anyway, I was just about to finish up here. If you give me a second to gather my things, we can walk out together? It comes out as part suggestion, part question, whichever way Stephanie wants to interpret it really, and whichever brings me the least amount of embarrassment should she decide to let me down. For sure! Alright, I'll be quick. Take your time. You deliver Stephanie's, Rachel's documents and exit the building together. There's not many students around this late. On our way to the parking lot, we barely run into anyone at all. Stephanie doesn't say much with the exception of a brief comment on the weather when we first stepped outside. I'm not a fan of prolonged silences, but it's difficult to find a topic that works for us both. After interacting a lot today, it appears I've deluded myself into thinking we're closer than we actually are. Maybe this wasn't my best idea. We barely know each other. Excuse me. Barely know each other. Thank you! Yeah. Didn't feel right leaving her to carry all those papers alone, though. So are you taking the bus home? Approaching the parking lot, I realize I haven't even asked her how she's getting home. She's pretty wealthy, isn't she? Maybe she drives her own car. Or does she live in dorms? I don't think she's ever told me. She hasn't really had a reason to. Oh, if you don't have a ride or anything, I'm sure my dad wouldn't mind giving you one. He should be here any second now, actually. I squint my eyes trying to check if Dad's car might already be parked somewhere. Doesn't look like it, though. Did I say something weird? Why is she staring at me like that? Stephanie starts mumbling to herself. Me and Hazel alone in a car. Did you not hear the part about my dad? Alone in a car with her father. Really that intimidating that even being in the same car as me terrifies her? Oh god. I'm aware I don't necessarily come off as the friendliest person, but is my image that bad? She's quite literally blushing while she's saying this. I don't think she's terrified of you, Hazel. But also, I am a little bit too far into the screen. There we go. I don't actually want to block text. The thought that Stephanie might genuinely feel me. Wait, I already read that. It was only a suggestion, no pressure. Please don't misunderstand. I really appreciate the offer. If I didn't already have a ride, I would love to go out with you. Oh. Yeah, I mean, go home with you. Oh. Stephanie slaps her flushed cheek, shaking her head. I mean, go for a ride with... No, that's not right either. Don't worry, I understand. I'm not sure why she's so fidgety, but I'm glad she doesn't seem to be actually scared of me. Just nervous. Maybe it's because I'm too pretty. This beauty of mine is always causing problems. Someone's picking you up? Friend, family member, maybe even a special friend. She giggled, shaking her head. Just my brother. You have a brother? I have to bite my tongue to stop myself from asking, is he hot? He must be, right? He's related to Steph, so... Pretty boy. Definitely. Oh! Maybe. Extended version of this game has all 3 of her brothers. Assuming they're old enough. I should wait until she actually tells me more about those brothers. Hold on, never mind. Royce is only one of my brothers. I've got 2 more. Any cute sisters I should also be aware of? No, I'm the only girl. I suppose it's a bit too greedy to ask for multiple pretty brothers and sisters. They actually take turns picking me up from school. Oh, so they're all old enough! Dad comes to get me sometimes too. Not as often though, he's quite busy. Your family sounds nice. I don't even want to imagine what horrors I'd have to threaten Chase with to get him to pick me up from anywhere. Is he a busy person? No, just super lazy. I don't think Stephanie hears my reply because her attention has already drifted elsewhere. Oh! She starts waving at someone farther away. That's my brother. I follow her gaze. That's your brother? Yep. Very handsome. Think he's looking for a wife? This is Steph's route! In another life. Right. See? That's what I always say. That's what I say every time. Stephanie runs up to her brother, throwing her arms around him. He turns to her with equal enthusiasm, but his eyes are narrowing in on me. He actually gets a Sprite! He also can't fucking see. You should cut your fringe a little bit, my man, or maybe style your hair. Like... Who are you? Stephanie pulls away from him and looks back at me. Contrast between the expressions is almost comical. Hazel, this is my brother Royce. Royce, meet my co-housemate Hazel. Hazel. There's a flick of recognition in his eyes. Oh, so you're Hazel. Heard of me? A lot more than I'd like. Stephanie can't stop talking about you. My heart skips a beat, but I quickly will it to calm down. I'm sure he's only teasing. Royce, she doesn't need to know that. Royce ignores Stephanie's pleas. She really admires your skills as a musician, apparently, so yes, it's only been good things. Oh. Stephanie fumbles with her scarf, refusing to meet my curious gaze. A dark blush travels across her cheeks, further cementing her embarrassment and confirming that Royce wasn't bullshitting. She admires me, really? I swallow my excitement. Of course she admires me. Who doesn't? Of course, Stephanie's too much of an angel to insult anyone, even if they did deserve it. I agree. But what does that have to do with me? Hopefully, there's no need to worry that you should deserve any criticism in the first place. He hates me. Which is weird. If it's true, Stephanie has only said positive things about me. This is just the overprotective type. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, so no, I don't see why you would have any reason to criticize me or my character. Royce clicks his tongue. A bad person would lie and they'd be good at it. Well, what am I supposed to say then, you jerk? Oh, Queen, thank you for the pop. Obviously I don't say that out loud. I can't, he's Stephanie's brother. But I really, really wish I could. Since cursing him out isn't allowed, I take the diplomatic route instead. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? Doesn't it make sense to wait around until the crime has already been committed? I'd rather prevent it from happening at all. So now I'm a criminal. I swallow the not so lovely insults lingering on the tip of my tongue. Stephanie's brother, you can't curse him out. You really, really can't. If it's true that Stephanie thinks so highly of me, I can't traumatize her by berating her brother. Just can't. Both of the twins have very high opinions of themselves. Honestly, I think it's quite refreshing. Because for Hazel, it's definitely more of a fake it till you can make it mentality because she doesn't fully believe all of that. Which shows through sometimes. It's quite refreshing. I like it. Stephanie tugs at her brother's sleeve, mumbling that it's time for them to go. My phone pings, alerting me that my own ride has arrived. My dad's here. I should get going. Nice to meet you, Royce. Aw. Royce has temporarily swallowed his pride on his sister's behalf, offering me the world's stiffest nod. Nice to meet you. Stephanie's still too flustered to say anything, so she just waves by. I wave back at her with a small smile, and I want her to think that her brother's behavior means I'm upset with her. So pretty, but so rude. How was a jerk like that raised in the same family as Stephanie? Shaking my head, I make my way to Dad's car. I spend the whole ride home ranting about Royce. Thankfully, Dad's always up for some gossip and eagerly nods along with everything I say, despite never having met Royce himself. And probably never meeting Royce. When I step into class the next day, Stephanie wastes no time rushing over to my side. I'm so sorry about yesterday. I don't understand why Royce was behaving like that. You are so small. She's so fucking small behind the textbooks. Like how, like, okay. You know, with the sprites being behind the textbooks and the textbooks being quite big, all of them. But she's so tiny. You have to remind me. I was quite annoyed yesterday, but I'd almost forgotten about him by this morning. Now, though, my irritation is back in full force. It's fine. I slip off my jacket. Brothers can be weird like that, but Jace has never randomly accosted anyone on my behalf, at least not to my knowledge. I'm the youngest in our family and also the only girl, and I told you how people sometimes think of me as a pushover and anyways, my brothers are just trying to protect me. But I've reassured Royce you're not a bad person. He won't ever speak to you like that again. I won't let him. So please don't think he acted like that because of something I said. Before she can ramble any further, I touch Stephanie's shoulder. She freezes, watching me with teary eyes. It's alright. There's no need to apologize on his behalf, and I know you're not the type to talk behind someone's back.
Hello. Good evening.
Oh well, she would surely have cursed out Rachel when she had the chance. Class starts any second now. We should go sit. Oh, actually I saved a seat for you. Not that you have to sit with me. I'm sure there's plenty of other people who would love to sit with you too, so yeah, you don't have to, but me, I don't have any friends in this class. Or in my entire course, for that matter. Of course, there are people whose names I managed to remember after several classes together, and sometimes we make small talk, but I don't think any of those count as friends. But yeah, no worries. I actually still plan on catching up with the direct by actually watching it. The Japanese one especially, because there's a few more things in that one always. But thank you. They're all acquaintances at best. Of course, I'm a loner by choice. With my looks and stellar personality, I could befriend anyone I want. I'm perfectly happy in my own company. There's simply more important things to do than play friends with everyone. You don't. Me neither. I find it really difficult to talk to most of our course mates. Everyone is super nice, of course, I just don't really know how to start a conversation with them. Well, who needs someone? We've got each other, right? Let's sit together. Stephanie immediately cheers up. Okay. Though we hardly exchange a word during the lecture, it's surprisingly nice to have Stephanie by my side. More often than I probably should, I find myself glancing at her entranced by her mannerisms. When a lecturer brings up a term she's unfamiliar with, her brows knit together and she starts furiously scribbling in her pink notebook. When she agrees, she nods or smiles a little, and when she disagrees, which is admittedly more rare, her lips tuck into a small pout. At one point, she catches my eye and gives a gentle smile. Thankfully, I don't think she noticed how long I was watching her. I'm not sure I would have been able to give her a good excuse. Shooting a quick smile back at her, I turn my head to concentrate on the lecture again. Focus now, you don't have time for distractions. Towards the end of the lecture, our lecturer reveals she's got an important announcement. This December, the university will be hosting a competition exclusively available to second and third year students from the music department. I straighten in my seat, paying close attention to her words. The winners of the contest will be granted the opportunity to work with a renowned musician this spring and summer. You'll be traveling across Europe, attending several events over the course of multiple months. I tense up in my seat, but it's an excited tension rather than anxious or stressed. This is exactly the type of opportunity I've been looking for. More information will be emailed to you all soon, but please keep in mind that the competition will require students to pair up for a duet. You will not be able to enter the contest as a soloist. Uh-oh. Seriously? My interest in the contest dissipates even faster than it appeared. Normally there's no way I would even hesitate. But a duet? That's really not my thing. Next to me, Stephanie starts picking up. Are you considering participating, Stephanie? She just said second and third year. Isn't Stephanie a class below you? In a competition? A nervous giggle escapes her lips as if she's baffled I would even think to ask her that. Probably not. I don't think that kind of thing is for me. Oh wait, wait. Is Hazel a third year? Stephanie's just a second year? Oh, maybe that's a thing. Thankfully, she didn't notice me staring at her, but everyone else did. I see. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever heard Stephanie play. I mean, I've heard her play in the orchestra, but never alone. Such a shy personality, I wonder what she's like on stage. I stand up and start packing my own stuff. There's still time left until registration. Before considering if I want to enter the competition or not, I have to consider if there's anyone I might even work well enough with for a duet. Are you having lunch now? Yes. In the cafeteria? I nod. Stephanie smiles. Me too! Nice. The smile falls. Did I say something weird? You're so dense. What? Ah! I like that with the meta commentary of both those twins, every single time they just talk shit about each other to each other's faces. It's like, Hazel's dense? Yeah, but he's as dense, if not even more, considering the last route we did. Like, my good dude, open your eyes. Is she looking at me like that? What's wrong? Let me out of here. Oh, nothing. Doesn't look like nothing to me. Stephanie smiles again, but is unquestionably forced this time. Come on, spit it out. And that's all it takes for her to break. Stupid. I was just thinking that maybe we could go for lunch together. Oh, she was trying to invite me for lunch. Why didn't she just say so? Of course we can have lunch together. Really? Yes, let's go. Stephanie's beaming now, her earlier disappointment already no more than a distant memory. Yay! We pick whatever food we like from the buffet and claim some seats near a big window. It's still early for lunch, so there's not many students around yet. It's weird we've never had lunch together before. Though I suppose we've never purposefully sat next to each other in class either. It's nice, I'm happy to be able to share so many firsts with you. Oh! That sounds a tad wrong! Stephanie doesn't notice the unintentional insinuation, so I don't make a deal out of it. It's my fault for having a perverted mind. This is really nice though. It's probably the first time we're actually having a conversation without her apologizing or blushing every 3 seconds. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's cute watching her get flustered, but I think I prefer to see her being comfortable around me. Based on what Roy said, she apparently looks up to me. I rarely interact with my course mates, especially the younger ones, so I never really realized. But it's not like I mind it. Actually, it's the opposite. I want her to think of me as someone reliable and trustworthy. Though I'm not sure why I'm suddenly craving Stephanie's approval out of nowhere. Of course she's pretty and her timid demeanor makes it easy to grow protective of her, but is that seriously all? Can you promise not to laugh at me if I tell you something silly? I'd never laugh at you. I am... She giggles a little, still nervous. I've actually tried asking you to lunch before. Really? I think back trying to recall if I've ever received such an invitation from Stephanie. Nothing springs to mind. When? She starts fiddling with her braid. So many times I've lost count. Like, one time I brought homemade muffins to campus. I made a few too many, so I wanted to ask if you'd like one, but then I wasn't sure if you'd even like my baking, or if you even eat the ingredient involved. In the end, I got too nervous and didn't ask. And another time we were in the cafeteria at the same time and I was going to ask if I could sit next to you, but you looked like you really didn't want any company, so I sat somewhere else. You should have asked. I probably would have said yes. Really? You're not just saying that to be nice? I rarely say things just to be nice. That makes me sound like an awful person, but it's not like it isn't true. It's funny. It sounds like I wasn't aware you tried to ask me since you didn't actually ask. Yes, I suppose I can't try to ask you without the actual asking part. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock! My bad. It's fine. I'm glad you asked me today. I'm glad you said yes. Stephanie smiles and my face goes red. Too freaking cute! Must protect at all costs! Me. I love her. She is adorable. I give her a quick smile and then we dig into our respective meals. Feeling a little more comfortable around each other now, we manage to exchange some small chit-chat without any further awkwardness. Sadly, the peace doesn't last long. The devil himself has decided it's time for a cameo. You already found someone? Great, I forgot I was going to meet him for lunch today. He stomps up to our table with a super ugly pout on his face. I'm not ugly! Didn't say you are. Said your pout is. For the record, you're ugly too. Grow up. You're twins! You have the same face! I look away from him, already too tired to even meet his eyes. If I ignore you, will you go away? Nah. If I pretend you don't exist, will you cease to exist? Nope. Also, isn't that the same thing? As it happens, there's a key difference. In the first scenario, you exist, but I pretend I can't see or hear you. In the second scenario, you no longer exist in my reality because I've erased your existence from my consciousness. As you may have guessed by now, the second scenario is obviously my favorite. Yeah, so much for saying nice things. Let's get back on topic. You already found someone? Can't you tell I don't want to talk about that? Stephanie's nose crinkles in confusion. Found someone for what? Who knows? I have no idea what he's talking about. Awkward pause. Okay, fine, I do know what he's talking about. Don't you dare mention that here, Jace. Oh, look at that. You're actually using my name for once. You must be really desperate for me to keep my mouth shut. When am I not desperate for you to keep your mouth shut? Stephanie laughs a cute little snort. She's completely unbothered by our bickering. Maybe she has a similar relationship with her brothers. No, I doubt that. I can't imagine her getting away with speaking to Royce the way Jace and I speak to each other. Nor can I imagine Royce ever raising his voice at her. What do you usually call him, Hazel? Idiot, jerk, dumbass, couch potato, bonehead, bird brain, loser, weirdo, waste of space. The list goes on, and it's a long list. See the abuse I have to endure living with such a violent sister? You really picked the wrong role model, Stephanie. Shut up, stupid. Oh yeah, stupid's another favorite. Still unfazed, Stephanie simply giggles. Jace focuses on me again. Don't worry, it'll be embarrassing for me too if our deal leaks out, so I'll leave it be for now. Are you going to make Stephanie feel left out? You can't just mention some super sketchy deal and then not explain it. Despite knowing that, I'm in no rush to explain things to Stephanie myself. I haven't even told Zoe about the bed yet. Plus, I don't think Stephanie knows us well enough to not find it weird. Yeah. If she learns about the bed, she's definitely not going to admire me anymore. There's no way I'm taking that risk. Still, I have to admit I'm a little impressed. You sure work fast. She's not... Wait, why bother explaining? It's good if Jace thinks I'm already ahead of him. Sure, it might backfire and encourage him to put my effort in, but at least I'll get to enjoy watching him stress a bit. Where's your butler? Did he finally hand in his resignation? His next class got cancelled, so he went home early. And you let him go? Just like that? Tried to whine a little, but it didn't work. Apparently his mom needs help with something. Jace clears his throat, turning to Stephanie. What's he up to now? I feel bad for interrupting you guys. So you're going to leave? Without trying to sabotage things for you? No way. Stephanie, want to hear some embarrassing stories about Hazel? No! Yes! The lady has spoken. He sticks his tongue out at me, stealing to the seat next to Stephanie's. He immediately starts spilling weird stories about me from our childhood days. I'm not going to make a big deal now because I don't want to freak out Stephanie, but I think Jace has forgotten we live in the same house. When we get home, he's dead. On our way home later that day, I attempt to have a civil conversation with Jace. You seem pretty familiar with Stephanie. How do you know each other? We went on a date once. What? Huh? My heart stops. What? That doesn't make any sense. You did? He rolls his eyes, chuckling to himself. Obviously not. Don't you think I would have mentioned if I was going on a date with your course mate? Huh? It's extra annoying because he's completely right. My bad. I forgot you're a romance virgin. Otherwise we wouldn't have started this bad. What the hell is a romance virgin? Now you're just making stuff up. I didn't make it up. I did. Wow, I can't believe you never heard of it. It's a really famous term. Don't worry, I'll be nice and explain it. You see, a romance virgin is someone who is absolutely inexperienced in all romantic matters. You've never dated anyone, never held hands with anyone, possibly never even had a crush. The description doesn't even fit me, I've been asked out. But you friend-zoned them all. True, but I've held hands. Mom doesn't count. But Dad doesn't either. But don't mention Adrian unless you're planning to confess you've secretly been in love with him all these years. Stop interrupting me! I've held hands with girls who weren't Mom, Dad, or Adrian. Two of the people you just mentioned aren't girls, but sure. Fine, who cares? You're so funny. Let's say I'm a romance virgin. Then I can't think of anything clever right now, but when I do, you will suffer. Oh no, I'm terrified. I'm not a romance virgin. That's an awful term though, it sounds weird. I try to pat him on the back, but he's quick to brush my arm off. It's okay, we can refuse experience for you. I settle for ruffling his hair instead, earning an annoyed grunt. Don't worry, Jace. Love will come eventually as long as it's something you desire. Though I guess some people, such as yourself, might simply be too unlovable. Speak for yourself. Who would ever love someone with an attitude like yours? Ask my fans? What fans? My turn to roll my eyes. You know, I'm still curious how you and Stephanie know each other. He shrugs, looking surprised I brought the topic back up again. To be honest, I'm also surprised, but I don't have time to think deeper about it before he answers. You know me, I know everyone. That's true. Well, who cares? I mean, the school is only so big, why wouldn't he know her? Only pain! Okay, fine, I care. Noticing my distress, Jace explains further. I saw at one of your recitals once. She mentioned she was a fan of yours. After she learned I'm your brother, she started greeting me anytime we bump into each other around campus. And you greet her back because she's your type? Better not be interested in her. Stephanie's too good for him. I'm not sure I have a type, but I'd be lying if I said she wasn't pretty. Sadly, she only acknowledges my existence because I'm your twin. He starts laughing, clutching his stomach as he bends over. What's so funny now? Oh my god, I guess you do have one fan. You know, your joke probably isn't that funny if you're the only one laughing. Or maybe you're the one who's got no sense of humor. Rolling my eyes, I don't bother to respond. I know he's only teasing, but everything seems to be getting on my nerves today. Everything but Stephanie. A few days later, our lecturer brings up the competition again. I hope you've all had a look at all the information I emailed you the other day. I think this is a great opportunity for you all, so I encourage you to at least consider it. Can you just let me forget about it? Since reading the first email, I've done nothing but stress. I haven't even had time to think about a plan for my bed with Jace, and that makes me stress out even more. This is exactly the type of opportunity I've been looking for, but a duet? As long as everyone's pulling their own weight, working with multiple other people is not a real issue. Sure, it's annoying when one of your team members won't turn work on time, but at least there's several people available to pick up the slack. No! No, because when you have big group projects, they want you to do a bunch of work, and then there's just more work that you have to do in the end, if one person is not doing their stuff. I hate group projects. Suffering can be prayer. Anything can be prayer if you put your mind to it. If it will work, I don't know. Just 2 people now? That means hours of practicing together alone. That means actually having to get along. There's plenty of talented people in our cause, yet I can't think of a single one I would be able to stand long enough to play a duet with. Had it been any other subject, I would probably be able to manage, but I don't go easy when it comes to music. Most people can't handle the way I deliver negative feedback, and maybe that's my fault, but how are you ever going to improve if your partner only showers you in compliments? Lost in thought, I don't even notice our lecture's finished. There's only 6 days left to apply. We don't accept late applications, so make sure to turn yours in on time. Right. I'm doomed. You're not. You live. You're so dead. Perfectly in sync, Zoe slaps a hand over Jace's mouth and Adrian gently smacks the side of his head. Don't listen to him. Yeah, don't. He's lost all his brain cells from staring at his reflection for too long. Jace escapes from Zoe's hand. Hey, if anyone here checks themselves out too much, it's you. Well, of course. When you look like me, how are you meant to resist? Adrian sips at his tea before launching into serious mode. Let's look for a logical solution, Hazel. Stressing over the matter without trying to solve it is only going to give you a headache. I start rubbing my temple. I think I already feel one coming on. Out of thin air, he brings out a pack of painkillers. It's scary how prepared you are for everything. You're welcome. After swallowing one of the pills with some water, I return to the topic at hand. I'm not exaggerating. There's no one in my course that I'm able to tolerate long enough. Does that make me sound like a terrible person? Yes, but it's no less true. To be honest, there's no one in your course able to tolerate you long enough. Jeez, that's so mean. You didn't have to say it like that. You agree with him? Well... Zoe! Don't get me wrong, I adore you. To me, you're perfect just as you are. But you're terrifying when it comes to competition. Really terrifying. But you must have played the duet at some point in your life, no? Surely it couldn't have been that awful. Jace and Adrian share an uncomfortable glance. Last time she tried a duet, the performance was great. But behind the scenes? Jace whistled, shaking his head. Why? It was a real mess. I hate that I can't deny that. What, did you permanently traumatize your duet partner or something? I may or may not have threatened him a little to make sure he gave his best performance. Sounds badass. Unfortunately, your standards for badass are very different from his. Why don't you just ask Stephanie? Dave says it as if it's the most obvious thing in the world, and it only increases my urge to smack him. You guys are sort of friends. She's got a sweet, agreeable personality. She already admires you and will easily agree with whatever you want. Yeah, I don't think I see any issues. I'm not her boss though. I don't want to work with someone I have to order around. I want someone who respects me or challenges me. Someone who understands I only give criticism when I think there's room for improvement, because why would I bother if I thought the person had no potential? I'll admit I could work on my delivery, but I don't intend to change the way I work. Confident there's someone out there who will be my perfect partner, I simply haven't found them yet. Oh, yeah. You sound very exhausting to work with, yeah. And if I never do, then that's fine. I'm fine as a soloist. I don't need friends, I don't need a romantic partner, and I definitely don't need a music partner. Quick question, who's Stephanie? Oh, you and Adrian have never met her, have you? While Jace fills Adrian and Zoe in on Stephanie, I mull over his suggestion. By the time he's done explaining, the answer's clear to me. She's too nice, that's the problem. That's not a valid excuse. It's not an excuse, it's a reasonable concern. When it comes to your music, I don't sugarcoat things. What if my criticism makes her cry? I don't want to make Stephanie cry. If she cries, I'll cry, and I don't cry. Considering your track record, I see where you're coming from. Give Stephanie some credit though. I'm sure she's tougher than she looks. This comment reminds me of the stuff Stephanie told me about how people often underestimate her, assuming what she's capable of before she even gets a chance to try. I don't ever want to undermine her like that. It's not that she's not tough enough. She's not the issue here. I swallow my pride. I'm the issue. Because you're a walking nightmare when it comes to these things. Yes. At least you're honest. I still think it's a shitty excuse though. Jesus' nonchalance irks me, but I struggle to refute. Anyway, I won't force you. It's your decision. Yes, I know you're only trying to help. For once. You're right that I seem to get along with her, so that makes her a better option than anything else for now. I'll consider it. Jace dramatically clutches his chest. Wow, so this is what it feels like to be acknowledged. Get used to it. I don't have the heart to point out that it's Stephanie's words, not Jace's, which have convinced me to reconsider my stance. If I really believe in her, I need to show that with actions, not just words. He leaves a cafe and Adrian stops him while the others walk ahead. Hey, Hazel. I hope you weren't hurt by what we said earlier. About me being a nightmare to work with? You weren't wrong, so... I raise and drop my shoulders in what I hope looks like a casual shrug. We weren't trying to say you're a bad person. It's true you're far from easy to work with, but... Yes, we already established that. But you're not impossible. You push people because you care. You're blunt because you think that's the best way to help. You get defensive when people get upset because it hurts being judged. What's up with the character analysis? If the Stephanie is as fond of you as Jace claims she is, maybe she'll be able to understand that. Maybe she'll be able to work with your so-called demon mode. Maybe even come to appreciate it. I don't know. It's just something for you to consider. You know her best. Just remember, this opportunity could be great for your future, so don't give up without even trying. It's not your style. Jason Sawyer stopped to stare at us, waving for us to hurry before the pedestrian light turned red. Okay? He repeats, still staring at me. Okay! He's not letting this one go, is he? I'll think about it. His expression softens relief. That's all I ask. Nudging my shoulders gently, Adrian hurries after the others. I follow right behind him. We don't say anything else about Stephanie or the competition for the rest of our hangout, but we don't have to. I've already made my decision. I'm not asking her. It's not because I don't believe in Stephanie. I'm doing this for her sake, if anything. I don't want to burden her by making her work with someone like me. Oh, come on. Today was supposed to be a rest day, but I still ended up booking a practice slot at the last minute. Normally I take my rest days just as seriously as practice days, but I've been feeling uneasy since the contest was announced. It's a little ironic, perhaps, that the thing stressing me out right now is also what grants me the most comfort. Music is a great way to escape from your thoughts for a moment. But of course, fate has other plans in mind. On the other hand, let her cook! Oh no. My mood hits rock bottom when I step outside the door to the music room I've booked, and I can hear someone playing the violin inside. Don't tell me it was double booked! As a general rule, when double booking happens, it's first come, first serve, which means whoever's in here right now has beat me to the punch. I let out a loud sigh. I even showed up 5 minutes early to avoid this exact situation. But if you're 5 minutes early, maybe the other person is just still in there and, you know, they still have 5 minutes. My best option is to return to the reception and hope there might be another available room. But I should at least check who's in there first. If I'm lucky, maybe it's just someone trying to sneak in a few extra minutes after the scheduled time finished. Peering inside the room, I'm greeted by an unexpected sight. The violinist is not a stranger, or some random student.
It's Stephanie!
I'm stunned by her elegance. The way she cradles the white violin with delicate hands, a soft smile on her face as her fingers dance along the strings. I didn't realize she was this talented. Of course, you have to at least be above decent to even get into a music program, but it's not just the way she plays, it's her. She's got this presence about her that I've never noticed before. Her music is beautiful. It's very fitting that we don't have a single sound playing right now and then. Turning my eyes away from her is a struggle, but I'm eventually forced to. Hazel! Noticing me, Stephanie lowers her arms in a rush. I immediately feel bad for interrupting her, but it's not like I was snooping on purpose. Hi? A shy pink blush blooms on her pale cheeks when I offer her a sheepish wave. Is this how she felt when I caught her the other day? No wonder she got so awkward. And Stephanie replies, her voice is so quiet I have to strain my ears to hear her. Hi. What brings you here? Not that I'm unhappy to see you. I'm always happy to see you, but... I suppose I do owe her an explanation. Compliment her. Had I been anyone else, I would start explaining I booked this room and move on. But it's Stephanie, and I feel like there's something far more important I need to tell her. You're so talented, Stephanie. Me? Now that I've started, the words come pouring out. It's you! Of course I knew you were good, like, obviously. But this was my first time hearing you play by yourself, and you're... Wow. Just wow. You're too kind. You're too humble. Kind. No, I just wanted to, like, let you know that, like, yeah. You understand what I mean, right? Shy Stephanie's unable to meet my eyes. Doesn't bother me, though. I don't think I could look back into hers right now, either. Not my most eloquent moment, but I think I've made my feelings clear at least. Silence fills the room. My thoughts begin to wander. After my chat with Adrian and the others, I decided I definitely couldn't ask Stephanie to partner up. I'm just too much for her, I'd concluded. Even though I'd sworn myself to not underestimate her, I still did it. I assumed Stephanie wouldn't be able to handle working with me without giving her a chance to decide for herself. And in the process, I almost missed the opportunity to work with someone so talented. Almost. Maybe Stephanie is my perfect partner. A confession! Already! What? What? No! I just want her to be my partner. Sounds gay. Sounds gay! Amen. Steering myself, I prepared to pop the question. Stephanie. Yes? You did? I need you to be my partner. Huh? Did she not hear me? I thought I was loud enough. I repeat myself. I need you to be my partner. I think I broke her. To clarify, I mean for the contest? Of course. For the contest. Stephanie laughs nervously. Obviously. I don't know what else I was thinking. I didn't mean to imply there's anything wrong with you as a romantic partner. I'm sure you'd make a wonderful girlfriend. If you even ever want to be a girlfriend. Some people don't. That's cool. Totally cool. But theoretically, should you ever want to be a girlfriend in this reality or an alternate one, I'm sure you'd be a lovely one, just not with me. Stephanie nods slowly, breathing out in relief? Jeez, dating me wouldn't be that awful. Suddenly, Stephanie's eyes snap wide open in shock, or is it terror? And then comes an ear-piercing squeak, and then my phone is fucking dying. As usual. What else is new? Wait, you're not serious, are you? What? About partnering up? Why wouldn't I be serious? Is there a reason why you think I'm not serious? Well, of course, a very obvious one too. Which is... you are you. Yeah, I am me. She gazes to me, then gestures back to herself. And I'm me. Blink. 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 What's wrong with being you? You're cool. Cool. I'm not cool, you're cool. If I'm so cool, I wouldn't ask a nobody to be my partner. Okay, that could probably have been phrased more kindly, but my point stands. It's a simple question, Stephanie. Yes or no? You're welcome to refuse, of course. I'm not going to force you into something you don't want. I might go home and scream into my pillow later, but I'm not going to fight if she says no. The whole point is I want her to decide for herself. But I would still be a little disappointed, of course. I genuinely believe we could make a great team. Stephanie hesitates. The phone starts ringing. That's my dad. He's probably waiting for me in the parking lot. I shouldn't keep him waiting. Sorry to cut our conversation short. My heart sinks to my stomach as I silently watch Stephanie pack up her things and rush to the exit, evidently trying to avoid answering my offer. To my surprise, she does pause right before stepping out the door. I will consider it, I promise. And then she's gone. Okay. I try not to think too hard about what just happened, turning towards my piano. For the first time and possibly ever, it does little to keep my anxious thoughts at bay. Wow. See why I think I made her feel uncomfortable? Jace lifts his head from his phone, finally borrowing me a smidge of his attention. Yes, but what's any of that got to do with me? Nothing, technically. Then why did you drag me into your room and force me to listen to your whole story? Because I can. And I need your advice. Can hear ya. I need your advice. Louder. Say it again. Slap him. I very gently smack the back of his head, but of course, Jace has to be a drama queen about it just because he can. Ouch! What was that for? We're playing dumb. I know you heard me the first time, jerk. Jace pouts, but thankfully doesn't try to tease me anymore. Anyway, yeah, I agree. Sounds like you made her uncomfortable. I don't understand. Why doesn't she want to work with me? Well, if it were anyone else, I can think of at least 27 reasons why they wouldn't want to work with you. You even admitted so yourself the other day. Do not list them. Wasn't going to. You totally were. Jay shoves my shoulder. Wipe that powder off your face. This is Stephanie we're talking about. She adores you. The reason she doesn't want to work with you probably has nothing to do with you. You think so? I pause to consider what other possible explanations there could be. Maybe she's got stage fright. I've never seen or heard of Stephanie doing any solos, even though she's clearly talented enough to captivate an entire audience on her own. Maybe. I should ask her. Jace pulls a grimace. What? You think the best way to make her less uncomfortable is by forcing her to admit why she's uncomfortable? Though I wouldn't phrase it like that, yes? How else are we going to get to the root of the problem? Everyone is not as confrontational as you. Hell, you're pretty avoidant yourself when it comes to your own feelings. So maybe Stephanie requires a more gentle approach. Why don't you start with apologizing for pressuring her? I wasn't trying to... The judgmental look Jay shoots me makes me clench my mouth shut. Okay, fine, you're right. My intentions don't matter. What matters is the impact it had on her. Right. I guess I can start with an apology. You know how to deliver one of those? I do need to write a script for you. I'll manage. Grabbing his wrist, I start tugging Jace out of my room. Kicking me out? Uh-huh, thanks for your advice, bye. I slam the door in his face. On the other side, I can hear him grumble as he shuffles down the corridor to his own room. Can't give him the chance to gloat about how I finally thanked him for something. Oh, come on. Stephanie, wait. The next day I stop Stephanie in the corridor. Hi! She still looks pretty nervous, though not more fidgety than usual. Maybe she's already over what happened yesterday. Hi, Barry.
How are you? Thank you for the save.
My gut tells me no, but I'm still hopeful. If this is about our conversation from yesterday, I'm afraid I still haven't decided. I hope that's alright. She's not over it at all. It is about what I asked you yesterday, but I'm not here to pressure you for an answer. I'm actually here to apologize. I was so excited about what we could do if we worked together that I neglected the most important part of teamwork. Listening to your opinion too.
I am doing fine. Thank you.
I'm sorry. You really don't owe me an apology. You weren't being pushy at all. I'm just sensitive. That's an interesting way to describe it. You weren't pushy. I'm just sensitive. She hesitates. But even if it's not necessary, I appreciate the apology. I appreciate that you care. And I hope you don't think I'm hesitant because of something you've done. I'd love to work with you. I'm just not sure I'm ready yet. That's fine. There's still a few days left to decide. Even if your answer ends up being no, that's alright too. I'll understand. It will hurt my pride a little, of course, but I'll get over it. Eventually. Stephanie smiled, silently offering me another thanks. As the conversation dies and the silence creeps in, I start to fidget. There's actually something else I also wanted to talk about. Do you have any more classes today? I was just on my way home. Oh, me too. None of my brothers could come today, so I was going to take the bus. I bite my tongue to stop myself from asking if she knows how the bus works. She's 19, of course she does. With this Stephanie. We talking to a girl that's not Zoe? Well, because we're on her route now. Are you in a rush? She shakes her head. Okay, well, since you're not in a rush, would you like to go grab some coffee together? There's a super cute cafe nearby that I think you'd really like. To my surprise, Stephanie responds with zero hesitation. Sure. I'm even more surprised when she grabs my arm, pulling me forward. Let's go right now. Next thing I know, we're sitting opposite each other at the cafe. Stephanie's been shaking with excitement the entire way here, but finally relaxes a bit after we claim a table. This isn't my favorite spot, but they do have great cakes. I have no idea what Stephanie likes or dislikes when it comes to food, but I took a risk and assumed she's a fan of sweets. Something tells me I was right. Ooh, and that something is the look of pure joy on Stephanie's face as she devours a strawberry cake. It's so good! Station, it's so good. I'm glad you like it. When Stephanie speaks again, she swallows the bite first. Sorry, it's just so good. I wish I'd known about this place sooner. Not giving herself any room to breathe, she shoves another bite in her mouth. And then another. And another. I watch with a smile as Stephanie practically inhales her cake. It's a miracle she hasn't choked yet. She's really passionate about cake, huh? I find myself writing a mental note of that. When in doubt, provide Stephanie with cake. When Stephanie finishes, she daintily pats her lips with a tissue, and I force my eyes not to linger on her mouth too long. Rating her stomach, Stephanie releases a satisfied sigh and smiles. I feel like I'm in heaven. Cake heaven. Too busy enjoying the aftertaste of her cake, Stephanie doesn't seem flustered at all by my giggling. I hope she can always be this relaxed around me. Flustered and nervous Stephanie is absolutely adorable, but I enjoy casually talking to her like this more. Cake heaven! I know she's an anxious person in general, something I won't deny I can relate to in my own way, but I still worry my personality might make it worse. You vibe with Stephanie, providing with any kind of sweets and you actually go crazy. But if I do make her uncomfortable, she wouldn't have said yes to coming here with me, right? I force myself not to think too hard about it. For now, I want to focus on making sure Stephanie has a good time. I'm surprised you haven't heard of this place before. It's quite popular with students at our college. It is. Taking a proper look around for the first time, Stephanie slowly nods. I see. She looks back at me, showing another cute smile and shrugging her shoulders. I don't know why I haven't been here before. I guess I don't really have any friends to go explore with. I spend most of my free time with my brothers, and they don't frequent these types of places. They would probably go if I asked them, but it's no fun if they don't actually want to. It's a shame, I've been missing out on such delicious cake all this time. I don't reply, too busy mulling over what she just told me. She doesn't have friends. I know we sort of talked about this before, and she mentioned not having any friends in our course, but is she saying she doesn't have any friends in general? Her relation doesn't align with my image of her. She's so sweet and lovely to everyone, plus I've never seen anyone who didn't get along with her. Of course, there's people like Rachel who try to take advantage of her kindness, but I suppose I've never seen her spend a lot of time with anyone in particular either. Maybe she's one of those people who gets along with everyone but doesn't have anyone she's actually close to. My stomach sings. I'm not close to people in our course either, but I still have my small circle of friends. Stephanie really has no one at all? This might sound silly or sad to you, but even though this is my first time visiting a cafe with a friend for fun, I'm not too upset I didn't get to do it before. I'm actually really happy you're my first time. First time? Stephanie nods with an innocent smile. You're so patient and gentle with me. I don't think I would have been half as comfortable doing this with anyone else. Are you hearing yourself right now? Stop with the innuendo. My heart can't take it. I can't even correct her when she's staring at me with those big, hopeful doe eyes. My fault for having a dirty mind is my fault for having a dirty mind. I'm glad to be your first time. so embarrassing. I cough into my elbow. Anyway, about this being your first time or whatever, I don't think it's weird or silly or sad. I'm not great at comforting people, but I want to try for Stephanie, pushing myself to find the right words. I don't have many friends either, plus I'm usually too busy with piano to go places like this. But I always see you with people in class. Everyone is always asking for your opinion. Because they know I usually have a decent answer. I always see you with people too. Doesn't mean they're close friends. I do have friends, of course. Adrian, Zoe, my brother. That's about it though. Oh, I see. I guess we're more similar than I thought. Seems so. That's pretty comforting actually. Although we're very different in many ways, we still share many similarities. I'll make sure to introduce you to Adrian and Zoe sometime. You get along with them, I think. Though I'll have to warn Zoe not to tease her too much. She blushes, but it's more from excitement than embarrassment this time. Sure, I love to get to know your friends. After that, Stephanie says she wants to order another dessert and asks for the menu again. She tells me she wants to try something different from the first cake, but ends up picking a raspberry one. Just as pink as the first cake, but she sticks her tongue out at me when I point that out. There's a difference between strawberries and raspberries. There's quite a big difference in what they taste like actually in cake. I'm saying this as someone who vastly prefers strawberry cake over pretty much anything and everything in existence. By the time we leave the cafe, the sun has already started to set. Time passed so quickly. It felt so short, but we must have spent ages in there. Stephanie did have time to eat 3 cakes. The other from Brass. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I plan to take the bus, but Stephanie's waiting for a brother to come get her. I would strongly prefer not to run into Royce again, but at least not this soon. But I still offer to wait with her until my bus arrives. It's what a gentleman would do. Gentle lady. Looking back at Stephanie, I notice a conflicted expression on her face. Her gaze keeps flickering from me down to her shoes and then back to the side again. What's up with her? Give her time. My first instinct is to tell her to spit it out, but I just get upset and keep my mouth shut if someone did that to me. Biting my tongue, I wait. It's hard, but I want to give Stephanie time to find the words on her own. And then her nervous expression morphs into determination. I have a question. I try to look casual, like I haven't spent the past minute agonizing over whatever she's about to say. Yes. Your offer, does it still stand? My heart skips a hopeful beat. She changed her mind. I swallow my excitement. I don't want to get too ahead of myself and scare her off again. Of course. A relieved smile lights up her face. Okay, good. Are you sure? If I'm being completely honest, I can be a pain to work with sometimes. Or all the time, depending on who you ask. It's not going to be a walk in the park, is all I mean. Stephanie squares her shoulders. Her attempt to look more confident falls flat, but it's still pretty adorable. I'm confident. Her fist tightened in determination. I'm a musician just like you. I know it's not going to be easy. So I'll just have to give it my very best. And with the right mindset, I'm sure we have plenty of fun too. A sudden surge of boldness dwindles and she sighs. I've never not wanted to do the duet. I simply lack the confidence to stand on stage alone. When I've never even tried to compete as a soloist before, the idea of performing and competing together with someone else, with you, it scared me a lot. But the more I think about it, the more I realize I feel much more confident. Much more confident when I'm with you. So as long as it's with you, I think I can do it. No, I'm confident I can do it. The confession brings a blush to my face. When she's looking at me like that, how could I ever say no? Alright. I give her a firm nod, leaving no room for doubt. Let's do it. She squeals. Really? Why do you sound so shocked? I'm the one who proposed the idea first. Yeah, but maybe you changed your mind, or maybe you found a better partner. A better partner than you? Impossible. She jokingly punches my arm. Since it's Stephanie, her punch is softer than a pillow, but I still keel over and pretend pain. Ugh! I'm so sorry, I didn't think I punched you so hard. Does it really hurt? Should I cut her off with a loud laugh. I'm obviously messing with you. I barely felt that at all. Stephanie pouts.
I'll have you know I pack a seriously mean punch when I'm genuinely trying.
I actually believe that, but I'm not desperate enough to find out the truth. I'll take your word for it. We're partners now, so we have to trust each other, right? Partners. Stephanie smiles to herself.
Yeah, and we're going to be the best partners ever.
Enthusiasm is so contagious, it's impossible not to get sucked in. I almost immediately beam back at her, starting to feel more hopeful myself. Maybe Adrian was right. Maybe this will go well. This is going awful. Awful. Adrian couldn't have been more wrong. This is not going to go well. One glance at Stephanie is all it takes to fill my stomach with heavy guilt. Patiently waiting with her violin in hand, staring up at me with a shy little smile. From the looks of it, she's unbothered by how many times I force us to pause. And to think I was afraid I'd be too harsh on her. I can't say anything when she's staring at me like that. I want to pretend I've developed a sense of empathy and blame it on that, but I think this is just a Stephanie exclusive weakness. Stephanie told me she can handle this, that she's prepared to try her best. I should trust that. I should respect her resolve and give it my best as well. I know that, so why do I keep holding myself back? I return to staring at her. Her face is round and gentle with natural peach cheeks and pale soft skin. Her pure smile sort of reminds me of a bunny, skittish but sweet. And most intimidatingly of all, she looks so hopeful. I want to play arrogant like I normally do. I want to believe I genuinely understand why she looks at me like that, but I don't. I really don't. It's not that Stephanie's bad. She's a great violinist and that's why I asked to partner up. We just can't seem to get our music to work together though. I don't even know how to pinpoint it exactly, but the chemistry, it's off. Had she been anyone else, I would have said something by now. But instead I keep averting my eyes, want to avoid confrontation. She's not stupid. She must be able to tell we're out of sync. Why doesn't she say something? It's tempting to be petty and blame it on her, but I'm fortunately not childish enough to do so. Of course she's following my lead since I have more... Oh, excuse me. Of course she's following my lead since I have more experience. I even promised she could rely on my guidance. I'm failing her. The realization hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm the one who pushed this on her and I can't even lead her? Swallowing my frustrations, I stand up. Stephanie also rises from her seat. Should we go again? No. I snap at her. My smile folds and I rush to try and soften the blow. I think I'm ready to call it a day. I'm tired. It still comes out short. Rude even. Oh. Right. Now she's going to think this is her fault. I think I've got a headache coming on. It's hard to focus. That perks her right back up. No worries, I get it. You need a painkiller? I think I have some tablets in my bag. She hurries to sort through her bag and the guilt starts to eat away at me. She's so sweet and genuine, I seriously don't deserve her. Before she can waste any more time searching for the pills, I start packing up my own things. It's fine. I'll text Adrian and check if he's still on campus. He's always got medicine on him. At least that one's not a lie. Stephanie falters, but only briefly. Okay. She starts packing up her own things as well. Make sure you get plenty of rest when you get home. Oh, and thank you. I've already learned a lot today. I didn't teach you anything at all, though. I force a tired smile and nod. Clearly she's trying to be polite. The least I can do is return her good manners. It's going to take some time for us to work well together. This was only her first attempt, so... Stephanie shrugs. It still shocks me to see her so unbothered by what a failure today's practice session was. Of course, Rome wasn't built in a day. We'll get it eventually, that's what rehearsals are for. She says it so simply, it's almost irritating. I want to believe her. I'm not sure if I believe her or not, but she sounds so confident. I at least want to believe she's right. True. After packing up our things and leaving the music room, we walk separate ways. I tell Stephanie that I'm meeting Adrian at the library, silently praying my poor lie won't be caught red-handed. Next time will be better. I'll do better. I have to. The rest of the day was mostly uneventful. I ended up studying at the library alone, since Chase followed Adrian home early in the day to study and have dinner at his house. At home it's only me and Mom for dinner. Dad's at a work event. It's nice to have some alone time with her. It's been a while. After dinner, Mom and I clear the dishes together while chatting. There's a new movie we want to check out on streaming.
But despite my attempts to hide my downcast mood, it doesn't take long before Mom somehow notices something So, when are you planning to share what's on your mind? Never? There's nothing to share, so... It doesn't look like nothing. Mom pokes the wrinkle between my brows. I forcibly relax my face. Just... stuff. She's so nosy. Mom must have some type of supernatural power linked to persuasion, because it's practically impossible to refuse her in any capacity. She doesn't even have to say anything. All it takes is a few moments of silence and I can't keep my thoughts to myself anymore. I suppose I've got a problem? The smile that takes over her face is annoyingly smug. Oh, is that so? Fill me in. I explain everything to Mom and she listens patiently. I even tell her about the contest, though I omit the part about us going abroad if we win. I'm not ready to tell her that quite yet. She's really depending on me. It sucks that I'm already letting her down. Did she say that? Say what? That you're letting her down. Well, no, but you can tell. Yes. Oh. I try to think of any signs Stephanie may have dropped. I tried really hard. Nothing. I suppose she hasn't actually said anything. As I suspected. But if I was her, then I would... You're not her though, are you? You're you. And as wonderful and lovely as you are, it's no secret that you can be difficult sometimes. For example, when you make assumptions about people based on your own biases instead of trying to see things from their point of view. I am trying to see things from a point of view. Okay, well, what do you think Stephanie thinks about today? She definitely noticed it didn't go well. She's a good musician, she can tell. Character number 3 is just a dad. Alright, and I guess, knowing her, she's probably more patient than me. I think back trying to remember if Stephanie said anything in particular. Come to think of it, she did say it's going to take a while for us to get things right. Who plays that then? Saying it out loud is painstakingly obvious. I suppose I haven't been thinking of us as a team, as one unit. I can't actually fix this alone, we have to fix it together. The thought has lingered in the back of my head all this time, but I don't think I was ready to accept it yet. All my life I've prepared to work alone. When I'm alone, I don't have to concern myself with the opinions or mistakes of others. If something goes wrong, it's my fault. If something goes right, it's thanks to my hard work. I can't approach this duet like that, not if I want us to give our best performance. See what a little patience can achieve? My smile is still teasing, albeit infinitely less annoying than it was a few minutes ago. You've always been so impatient, you probably got it from me. I don't know about that. Have you seen Dad at the supermarket? Don't remind me, he loses his mind if the line is any longer than 2 people. That's a generous description. He goes absolutely ballistic. Mom pats my head. I don't shy away from a touch. Have more patience with your friend, okay? And more patience with yourself too. Yes. I've had enough of her petting, so I slip out from under her head. Alright, I think we're done here. Movie time? Yes, but snacks first. I'll go start the TV. I paused by the door. Oh, and thanks. I muttered a thanks under my breath, but I know she's heard me because of the giggle she exhales. Aww. My chat with Mom has filled me with a lot more hope for the duet. All I need is some patience. The moment we finished our movie last night, I texted Stephanie to schedule another practice session. Neither of us are free today until 5, hence why we're starting practice so late. It's going to be a short session, but a little time is better than none at all. My optimism is crushed when, on my way to the music room, I run into an unpleasant surprise. Just as I'm about to round the corner, I automatically stop, not wanting to be spotted by the voice I hear. Who are you? Oh no! Must be having a difficult time. It's not even condescending, it's impossible to not recognize that nasal voice. Rachel. I don't want to talk to her, she's just going to ruin my good mood. I'm about to turn around and find a different path when I hear who she's speaking to. Difficult. Don't tell me she's trying to rope Stephanie into doing her work again. My instincts yell at me to interrupt the conversation and tell Rachel off, but then I remember what Stephanie said. She likes feeling capable, so she definitely won't like me meddling in her business without her permission. I want to hear what they're saying, though. Without doubt, I don't want her to feel like I'm underestimating her. At the same time, I don't think I can just walk away from the scene. I don't trust Rachel. Surely it's fine if I wait here for a few moments, just to make sure Rachel doesn't try and spring anything weird on her. Whether my actions are truly justified or not, I can't bring myself to leave at this point. I awkwardly linger around, straining my ears to catch the conversation. Me snooping? Nah, listen. I was there by chance, and if I had to wait here for 4-5 minutes, by chance, then don't worry about it. It helps that Rachel's naturally so unnecessarily loud. Oh, don't give me that look. I know you agree with me. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Stephanie's genuine confusion makes me snort. See, Rachel? Genuinely good people don't think like you. You're too nice to say, but I can tell. Rachel clocks her tongue. I can picture her shaking her head in mock pity. Stuck working with Hazel? You sure are unlucky. My heart lurches and suddenly I feel sick. They're talking about me. No one in their right mind ever wants to work with Hazel. In a bigger group, she's tolerable at best, but one-on-one? Oof. When Rachel laughs, Stephanie finally breaks her silence. I think she's really talented. Well, duh. Everyone knows that. No amount of talent can make up for that dreadful personality, though. Stephanie doesn't say anything, but Rachel doesn't mind and continues. I get you might not have any other option or whatever, but you should seriously consider if she's worth the hassle. If I were you, I'd just give up the contest. What are you scared to? If Hazel gets upset, you could always give me a nudge and I'll talk to her. It's the least I can do for my favorite underclassman. Ew! Rachel speaking ill of me is nothing new. We've hated each other's guts ever since we first met on our first day of college years ago. I'm certain some of my course might share her opinion too. Plenty of people dislike Rachel with passion just like I do, but she's still quite popular and I'm under no misconception that I'm everybody's favorite person. So yes, none of that is what upsets me. I don't like her talking about me to Stephanie. Stephanie's admiration means a lot to me. I don't like that Rachel's words might influence her opinion of me. But I should have known not to doubt her. I don't think you and I should be friends, Rachel. Stephanie's voice is no louder than a murmur, but it's still obvious Rachel heard her. Be that as it may, Rachel still pretends she didn't. Pardon? Stephanie raises her voice, repeating her earlier statement with more confidence. We should not be friends. We can't be friends. I hold my breath just as Stephanie releases hers. I understand that you and Hazel do not get along. I also understand that I can't force you to like her, but Hazel is my partner and I can't be friends with someone who would say such mean things about her. Rachel's voice is deadly cold when she replies. Are you serious? Yes. Though I may have misphrased myself a little. It's not that I can be friends with you. I do not want to be. Yes! Yes, girl! Get it! Rachel laughs, but it sounds more like a scoff. Whatever. Don't come crying to me when you're wallowing in your regret later. I hear her heels click away when down the corridor she storms off. Thankfully in the opposite direction of where I'm hanging around. Hi, SG! Good evening! Next I hear Stephanie let out a heavy sigh. Though I can't see her face, I can only guess that her expression must be nothing short of pure anxiety. I can't believe she defended me like that. I'm so used to standing up for myself, it feels weird to have someone else do it for me. Not to mention someone I'm not even that close with. So I suppose it's no longer right to describe our relationship like that. Hi! I'm good, how are you doing? She's a good friend. Someone I can genuinely count on. I don't want to make her uncomfortable by letting her find out I eavesdropped, so I end up finding another path to the music room anyway. It adds a couple of extra minutes to my journey, which means I'm a few moments late when I finally arrive. Hi! Sorry I'm late. Stephanie's already inside doing her finger stretches. Seeing me, she shows a bright smile. Hello Hazel, how was your day? I answer her while tugging my jacket off. How's alright? How was yours? I obviously don't expect her to bring up her conversation with Rachel, which is why I'm so shocked when she does. Swing by with a slow moment of work. Aw! Don't get in trouble now. But thank you for coming by. You were right about Rachel. She's so mean. Her cheeks puff up with frustration. Aw, so cute. Stop. She's being serious. Seriously cute. She said you're difficult to work with. Can you believe that? Yes, it does sound like something she would say. After all, I already heard word for word what she had to say about me. I told her I don't want to be friends with her. I don't like to hear badmouth my friend. And right in front of me too, as if she's expecting me to agree with her. She was brazen. She sounds like an old grandma scolding a child. I had no reason to doubt Stephanie in the first place since I heard the conversation myself, but it's nice that she actually brought it up to me and made sure there would be no misunderstanding. She's a good friend. Thank you for standing up for me. I appreciate it. As always, Stephanie turns impossibly pink in response to my compliment. I was just doing what's right. I nod and smile, admiring the blush on her cheeks. I'm already looking forward to making her blush again, curious just how pink she can get. Anyhow, with that settled, I decide it's time to confront our other dilemma. So about practice. Yes. I had some ideas. Want to hear them? Like a switch has been turned on, Stephanie jumps right into focus mode. But that's great! I also had some suggestions. I'm not sure what's changed, but we're evidently a lot more comfortable exchanging thoughts and feedback now. Practice still doesn't run perfectly, but it's a massive improvement from yesterday. I'd even dare call it fun. Well, who would have guessed if you actually talk and try to work together, it should work. It should work out better. Well, good things must come to an end, sadly. When the sun falls and Stephanie's phone starts vibrating, we share a disappointed smile. Looks like we're going to have to call it a day now. We start packing up our things. There's a stark difference from yesterday here too. While we were pacing in an awkward rush yesterday, eager to get out as soon as possible, we're taking our time today and making small talk. It's unfortunate we couldn't book a practice slot this weekend. Father and my brothers have to attend this work event overnight, so I'm going to be home all alone. So boring! Hey babe, wanna come over? I can't. My parents aren't home. Also my 3 brothers. That reminds me, I've got something to ask you. Oh. After moving out with my mom, I had another idea for how Stephanie and I could grow closer. To improve our chemistry as partners, I mean. Oh yeah. What are the chances that your family would let you sleep over at mine this Saturday? Sleepover? Maybe I should have asked if she even wants to first. But there's no missing the joy that spreads across her face next. I would love to have a sleepover at yours. I'm not sure my family will say yes, but it can't hurt to ask. Maybe they'll be happy I'm not alone all weekend. Listen, actually, wouldn't they be, because as overprotective of her as they are, wouldn't they be happy if she's over at a friend's place where the family is home, than her being home alone all weekend? Because I was not allowed to stay at home on weekends when my parents would go somewhere. I feel a little too much like her mom. I feel like we're infantilizing her a little. Like she's 1 year younger. Like she's 19. She's not a child. It's good. If it helps convince them, you can mention that my parents will probably be home. It is Saturday, so they might go out for a date or meet up with Adrian's parents, but they should be home by the time we go to bed. I've invited my friend Zoe as well, so you get to meet her properly. It'll be like a girls' night. Oh, that's not a date. Stephanie gets even more excited. A girls' night? I've never been to one of those before. Technically, my girls' nights have never been bigger than me, Zoe, and Mom. It'll be fun having another girl my age around. Let's hope your family says yes then. Stephanie takes on a battle pose, fists curled and face determined. I'll do my best to convince them. Alright, counting on you. And playfully nudge her shoulder. She gives me a gentle shove back. You don't believe me? I have you know I can be really convincing when I want to be. Yes, I believe you. Stephanie eyes my grin with skepticism. She shrugs. You believe me when I show up at your sleepover. By the way, is there anything I should bring? Snacks, drinks, games? I handle the snacks and drinks, but you're welcome to bring extras if there's anything in particular you'd like. What kind of games do you have? Well, I only really play mobile games these days. But one of my brothers is really into board games. I'm sure I could borrow one of his. Oh! I wanna know what mobile games she plays. You play mobile games? What if she's just a she's just a hardcore gacha gamer. Behold. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Stephanie spends a lot of time on the phone, but I figured she was simply scrolling her socials or texting someone. She doesn't really strike me as a gamer girl. You learn something new every day, I suppose. I play. Stephanie almost sounds offended. I love mobile games. Puzzle games and gacha games especially. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, not gacha. You're a whale, aren't you? A whale? She murmurs in confusion. It's a whale. Oh no, not that. No, not that addicted then. She doesn't actually know what a whale is. Someone who spends a ridiculous amount on gacha? Oh! A flustered giggle escapes her. Oh no! She is! In that case, guilty as charged, Your Honor. Stephanie! You can't giggle this way, it's serious. You can giggle this away, it's serious. It starts as gacha and seems harmless, but you'll eventually turn into a gambling addict. She works 3 jobs to keep up her gacha addiction. No! Stephanie! It's not gambling, I'm just collecting cute characters, pets, clothes, houses, accessories, and... Oh no, we've already lost her. We make sure we don't forget anything and then leave the room, chatting about our upcoming sleepover the whole way out to the parking lot. No, Stephanie! Get out of there! Saturday evening comes so quickly I barely register it. Zoe arrives an hour before Stephanie said she'd come, and she hasn't left her seat on my bed since. I hope she's not upset Stephanie joined our plans last minute. Originally, Zoe and I were supposed to hang out tonight, just the 2 of us. Yeah, just the 2 of us. We haven't been able to have lunch together all this past week, and our evenings have been busy too. Of course, I asked her if it'd be okay if Stephanie joins us, and she said it's fine. So it's fine, right? So, how did she manage to convince her family in the end? Zoe breaks the silence. I look up from my phone to answer her. Not sure. I'll have to ask her when she gets here. Zoe hums, already having lost interest in the conversation. She starts scrolling on her phone again. Stardust and crafts near real cute houses and whatnot to collect. Ah! True. Weird. I thought she'd be more excited to meet Stephanie. Should I ask? Maybe she argued with her mom again. I don't get the chance to ask before Mom is calling me from downstairs. Hazel, your friend is here. Zoe drops the phone, meeting my gaze head on. Takes only a second for us to communicate our thoughts. We need to get there before Jace does. So the race begins. I arrive downstairs in record speed, followed by Zoe. Jace obviously shared the same idea, bumping into us on our way to the stairs. When he saw how far ahead we were, he just sighed and changed course for the living room instead. No way I'm letting him greet Stephanie first and embarrass me. But when I see he was accompanied Stephanie here, I find myself wishing I let Jace go first after all. Voice. Oh no! Hazel. Sorry, Stephanie's little huff. Forces us to put our staring match on hold. In a weak attempt to keep his sister happy, Royce extends the olive branch first. Thank you for inviting my sister. Stephanie gives me a pleading look, and it's impossible to refuse her. Thank you for allowing her to come. Didn't have much of a choice, but I hope she will have a nice time. She will. She's 19! I think she's old enough to visit her friends! Yeah. That was an offhanded comment about Stephanie being a little... Stephanie's family being on the richer side, I think. It has not actually been established though, like... haven't seen her mention anything. What? What? You know, it's kind of funky in the brightness. Yeah. Yeah. Stephanie Mercedes to give up the— No! No, that's a no. No. Mercedes as— You thought— No. Did you realize because the sprite is closer to my hair now? Why did you realize just now? And I hope I can trust there won't be any nonsense. And this nice tree is already been broken, if it ever really even started at all. Thankfully, Mom chimes in next. I'll keep an eye on them. And Royce, please. Alright, I'll get going. You have my number if you need to get in touch for anything. It was so lovely to meet you, Royce. Mom's overbearingly friendly nature is too much for Royce. The title of the smile he gives her is awkward and obviously forced. Yes, thank you, Mom. Finally, someone who intimidates him. I paid good money to see the conversation they had before I showed up. Royce and Stephanie exchange a few more don't worries and call me if you need anything. And finally, Royce releases her, closing the door with a defeated sigh. And then why would I have bought? Oh, her brother didn't have pink hair. Oh. Nonsense. There's no nonsense. At this girl's sleepover, no nonsense. I'm shocked they're actually letting her stay, but I won't question it. I'm just happy she's here. With Royce gone, Stephanie looks more comfortable. She beams up at me and shrugs off her outdoor clothes. But then her eyes drift to the side, remembering that Zoe and Mom are also here, and anxiety replaces her earlier excitement. Oh, how rude of me. I haven't even introduced myself yet. I'm about to assure Stephanie that no one minds, but Mom beats me to it. It's fine. I already know who you are. Lately, you're the only thing my daughter talks about. Oh! I spit my next words out with gritted teeth. Why are you so determined to embarrass me? It's my duty as your mother, and it builds character. She coos placatingly, though it does nothing to actually placate me. Don't get grumpy now. Your dad and I will be out of your hair for the rest of the evening. You're leaving? Oh, right. I forgot to tell her. Yes, it's been a while since we visited our friend's house. As adults, it can be tricky to find time to meet up. Oh, so true! So true. I wonder if I'll actually manage to see my best friend this year again. We'll see. Like IRL. We planned this dinner weeks ago, so don't worry. You're not chasing us out of the house. Oh, do you know Adrian? It's his parents we'll be spending the evening with. We've always been quite close with them since Jace, Hazel, and have been friends since childhood. Mom rambles on without pause and exclaims, actually, Jace will be coming with us as well. Isn't that right, Jace? Mom raises her voice, gently calling out to Jace in the other room. Yes, yes. He's disappointed he wasn't invited to your girls' night. I'm pretty sure he's just hangry. Well, maybe he can join us some other time. I hope so. No, thanks. Though I suspected Mom might be too much for Stephanie, the two actually seem to be getting along really well. Oh, if you— yeah. It's surprising though, like, even if you live like only a few cities apart or in the same city, it can be so hard to meet up with people. So it's like, distance is whatever. You could be living like right next to each other and you would still struggle to find time to hang out. Mom's excitement is rubbing off on her rather than intimidating her. I'm glad they get along. It's not that important if they do or don't, but it still makes me happy. It's a weird feeling. I'm not sure how to describe it, so I choose to ignore it for now. Eventually, Mom leaves us to go check if Dad's ready yet, and that's when I remember the third person in the room with us. Zoe, this is Stephanie. I take Zoe's wrist, gently tugging her in front of me so she's facing Stephanie. With a shy smile and a weak wave, Stephanie tries to greet her. She's so fun. Hi. Hello, I'm Hazel's course mate. Stephanie is my name, I mean. So cute. Whatever weird funk Zoe was in earlier, it looks like she snapped out of it. You were right, Haze. She is cute. She pulls Stephanie into a tight hug, squeezing the lights out of her. I'm Zoe, Hazel's closest friend. Oh, and neighbor. Hayes told me this is your first sleepover, so I hope you have fun tonight. Otherwise, I'll have to force you to have fun. Unsure how to reply to that, Stephanie just squeaks. Okay. Zoe grins oh my fucking god, conspiratorially at me. Mind ordering the pizza while I get started on Stephanie's nails? Pleased to see Zoe making an effort with my new friend, I decisively ignore her obvious attempt at tricking me into handing the ever so awkward takeout delivery call. There's apps for that nowadays. So you don't have to call the pizza place. My god, you're going to have fun even if it kills me. I mean, what? What? Let's go paint your nails. Yeah, like, because it just keeps going. It's such a long word for some reason. What toppings do you like on your pizza, Stephanie? I'm not picky, but I like plain pizza the best. We'll share a big margarita then. The medium Hawaiian as usual? With olives, please. As gross as ever, but your wish is my command. The hell is plain pizza margarita? Because the only thing you have on there is cheese. So I pull Stephanie into the living room. I tap in the phone number and make the phone call. By the time my parents and Jace have left and I finished the phone call, Zoe's almost done with Stephanie's nails. Yeah, no, just margarita. I mean, margarita's good. You actually gotten dumb when it comes to pronouncing any part of the entire family of words. I mean, I'm not gonna comment on that because I probably said it wrong like 3 times. But I'm not surprised to see she's painted them baby pink, though I do wonder if it was her or Stephanie's choice. Cute either way. It's probably the dozen times a day I've called her cute out loud or in my head. Somehow everything Stephanie does is so cute to me. Obviously the main reason for that is that she's just cute in general. It's not only her appearance, it's... I suffer above for the laugh. Am I seriously about to stand here and monologue about how adorable Stephanie is? You gonna tell us what's got you snickering to yourself like a creep? Or just stand there? Neither. I stick my tongue out at her, dropping down on the sofa next to them. I'm sitting next to Stephanie. Though I'm used to always sitting next to Zoe, my body has moved on its own, placing myself on Stephanie's side. Zoe gives me a quick, almost confused glance, but promptly returns to checking Stephanie's nails for any mistakes. Okay, they look good to me. She looks up at me. What do you think, Hazel? Stephanie lifts her hands, showing off her nails with an excited smile. Yes, what do you think? Pretty. It's all thanks to Zoe, she's really talented. Even the greatest painter can only perform a masterpiece if they got a good canvas. Wise words spoken by a true master of inventing nonsense. Zoe rolls her eyes at my joke, but it's all in good heart. She directs her next words to Stephanie. You should go get changed before the pizza arrives. Hazel and I will find a movie to watch in the meantime. Stephanie's eyes split between me and Zoe taking in our attire. Of course! It's not a pajama party without pajamas! She says it so seriously I have to cover my mouth to hold back a giggle. Where do I get changed, by the way? I'll show you. I'll take Stephanie to my room, showing her how to lock my door in case she wants the extra privacy. Neither Zoe or I would walk in on her unprompted and no one else is home, so there's no real need to lock the door. Still, I want to make sure she feels completely safe here. First time I had a sleepover, I was much younger, but I still remember how uncomfortable I felt spending the night in some foreign house. The very least I can do is help Stephanie avoid that feeling for her first sleepover experience. After making sure Stephanie has everything she needs, I stroll downstairs to join Zoe on the sofa again. She's so nice, right? Zoe's already started scrolling through the streaming app. I was worried Mom would intimidate her, but they seem to really get along. If Stephanie's family allows her, I'd like to invite her over more often. What type of PJs she'd be wearing? Probably something cute. Well, what am I saying? I sound like an old pervert. Clearing my throat, I sit back up and I sit back up straight and focus my attention on the screen. You find anything good yet? I'm not sure what Stephanie's into, but Roman should probably be safe.
Always overly mowing, can never do anything that's not cute, and everyone around is pointed out. Always spoiling the only thing to say about it. It's like a mind flare that projects the permanent hypnotic aura of cute. Romance, huh? Zoe glances at me with a smile. In some way, I think it might be a first genuine smile of the night. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I hope so, because there's no way I'm watching anything else now. No further explanation is needed. We both know what movie we're talking about. Okay, I would also like to know what movie you're talking about though. Black Lace. It's a sapphic romance drama. It's got everything you could ever want to hot leading ladies, unlimited angst, and just the right amount of explicit scenes. Wait, is that an actual thing? Wait, hold on. Black Lace. Is that an actual movie? Probably not, right? Let's see. There's a movie called Blood and Black Lace, I guess. No, I want to know if it's an actual. Hold on, I want to know if that's an actual thing. Blood and Black Lace. That's a horror thriller from 1964. Okay. Blood and Black Lace is a 1964 giallo film directed by Mario Bava and starring Eva Bartok and Cameron Mitchell. The story concerns the brutal murders of Roman fashion house's models, committed by a mass killer in a desperate attempt to obtain a scandal-revealing diary. Oh. The fact that it's a sapphic movie is what caught my interest, actually. But I guess it's not an actual thing. Romance drama. In short, it's a masterpiece and perfect movie night material. Just as Zoe's about to say something else, Stephanie comes skipping down the stairs. Back! Cuter than ever. Red looks great on you, Stephanie. We can barely see what she's wearing though because the text box is in the way. Like, the text box covers almost all of her. Should be looking through the Yuri anime catalog. The Yuri anime catalog is severely lacking. Hey, but at least we're getting a new Madoka Magica movie next year, so I win. Stephanie goes shy, but like in a good way. Thank you. She lifts her hand to fiddle with her braid. Tried? The sheepish admission breaks the awkward tension in the room, cracking up both Zoe and I. You trade well. Amused by our amusement, Stephanie happily giggles along. Where's the pizza? I'm excited to start the movie. Should be here any second. The doorbell rings. Speak of the devil. And he shall deliver the pizza. Zoe gestures for Stephanie to take the seat next to her. I get up to collect the pizza. It takes a minute to accept the 2 boxes and tip the delivery boy. I return to the living room. During my absence, Zoe's been busy reading out the summary of the film. Don't spoil it for her. I'm not spoiling, it's in the description. Zoe's explanation has apparently left Stephanie more confused than anything. It's a romance, right? We nod. About 2 girls. Stephanie's question, the awkward tension from earlier, rears its head again. Yeah. Is that a problem? Oh, no, it's just I've never really watched something like that before. I mean, I've watched things with lesbians before. I have never seen a film about lesbians. They're not lesbians, actually. They're both bisexual. We end up dating after the No spoilers! Oops, sorry. Zoe's mistake makes Stephanie giggle and the awkward atmosphere fades away once more. It's a pretty obscure film, so I'm not surprised you've never heard of it before. The fact that we've both seen it before we met was a big surprise. It's actually one of the things Hazel and I bonded over when we first met. What was the last Madoka film? Rebellion, right? I haven't actually seen the first 2 movies because the first 2 movies I always thought were just like
collections of the anime, basically, like telling the entire story, but just in a movie. And then Rebellion was a new thing. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they make with it. I haven't actually watched the trailer though. So, in hindsight, it wasn't actually that shocking. Good sapphic romances can be rare to come by. It's not weird we've both seen it. Oh, so both of you are... Come by. Hazel's pan. I see. Must be nice to have a friend who's the same as you. He smiles and nods politely. Wait, so Hazel... Ha! Sorry then, I keep saying they're both bisexual disasters, but I guess Hazel's a pansexual disaster, my bad. What about you? Stephanie turns red. Oh, well, you see... Zoe glances at me, wincing at the realization that she's probably asked something she shouldn't have. She grabs a slice of pizza with one hand and reaches for the remote with the other. Let's get this party started, shall we? That Stephanie nods eagerly. Zoe casts me a quick look and I nod too. Alrighty, let's go. She turns on the movie and we fall into comfortable silence. We're all too busy watching the movie to chat. More often than not, I have the courage to admit I find my eyes straying to Stephanie. I spend most of the movie watching her watch the screen. It scares me to admit it's a far more entertaining view. By the time the credits start to roll, the sun has fallen and it's pitch black outside. We should still have a few more hours before Mom, Dad, and Jace return. I'm not sure if we're all mentally prepared for another movie, though. At some point during the movie, the napkins we used to clean our hands for pizza grease have been replaced by tissues to wipe our tears. The climax of the movie, where the two heroines learn that one of them has a deadly disease, is as brutally painful as ever, no matter how many times I've seen this film. I can't believe she really died. I was so sure she'd find a cure. Stephanie was crying the loudest of us three when Marina visited her lover's hospital room, only to learn that Eleanor was already passed. She was so anxious she couldn't stop tugging at her hair, and Zoe had to pause for a minute to help her pull it up into a bun. I am so fucking... If that's an actual movie, but it's just, you know, called something else, I wanna watch it. I wanna see it. Ah. It's a gay film. It's like law that one of them has to die at the end. I usually hate the trope, but I have to admit the movie wouldn't hit half as hard if Eleanor survived. Stephanie tearily shakes her head. I don't mind if it's unrealistic. I like happily ever afters the best. Oh, valid. Yeah, he's ready. Spoiling yourself on a movie that probably doesn't even exist. Zoe pats Stephanie's shoulder. We'll watch something with a happy ending next. Anyone in the mood for Titanic? Absolutely not. Kidding! I'm kidding! Talk about tough crowd. Zoe's got the best taste in film, or at least so she claims. She takes charge of selecting the next movie, while Stephanie and I clear away the pizza boxes and grab some snacks from the kitchen. Stephanie's busy pouring equal amounts of popcorns in each bowl. Popcorns. What the hell? Popcorn in each bowl, tongue poking out in concentration when I break the silence. Oh, watching Shrek! Yeah, true though. I would like to watch Shrek at some point. Are you having fun? She nods. A lot. That's a relief. What about you? Are you having fun? Yeah, it's especially fun since you're here. Her face turns pink and I grin in satisfaction. It's so easy to make her blush, but never any less satisfying. I hope we can have many more sleepovers like this. It's my turn to blush when she looks me straight in the eyes. When we're in the contest and we get to travel around Europe, we might have to share a room sometimes. And then we can have a sleepover every night, right? Yeah, sure. Tiffany nods, returning to her earlier task. As we walk in silence, I wonder if her heart is beating as fast as mine. Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! Shortly after the second movie ends, my parents and Jace come back. We chat with them briefly before heading to my room, though Zoe hangs behind for a bit longer, caught up in a conversation with Jace. I feel guilty that I'm sort of happy she stayed behind. It's been a while since Zoe and I could hang out, but I'm really happy for every extra minute I get to spend alone with Stephanie. Zoe and I are literally neighbors anyway. We can hang out whenever, right? Oh, you would think that! Give me a second to set things up. Stephanie didn't end up bringing any of her board games, as I suggested we play one of my fighting games on console instead. Even though she loves gacha and mobile games, she's never really played anything on console. I have to introduce her to farming sims sometime. I think it might be her life's calling, next to the violin, of course. See, Sleepover put such an intensely gay content on any piece of media ever. I boot up the console and turn on the game. I tried to pick one of the simpler ones with controls that are easy to remember even for a beginner. Oh, it's fine, you just have to button mash. Be too competitive, Hazel. Give Stephanie a chance to learn the game. Repeating this mantra in my head, I hand her one of the controllers. Why don't we try the tutorial first? I have no clue how to play this game, so whatever you think is best. Stephanie experiently mashes around the buttons, letting out a squeaky eep when she accidentally exits the game. Sorry. Definitely tutorial. Oh boy. Despite some initial mishaps, Stephanie learns the basic controls faster than I expected. She messes around in free mode for a bit too, testing out different combo moves before she declares she's ready for the next step. Okay, let's fight! I launch PvP mode. As I'm holding the main controller, I get to select my character first. Ooh! Let's go with my usual. I go for my usual, an elegant ninja princess with a long red ponytail. She's such a badass. I like her design. I'm an expert at playing as her, so you can't say I'm going easy on Stephanie. But she wouldn't want me to go easy on her, so... Alright, your turn. Who are you going to play as? Comes as no surprise that Stephanie goes for the cutest looking character, some form of sheep creature with big eyes and fluffy fur. Not like she knows anything about the lore, so her decision makes sense in all fairness. Is this a good character? I only chose him because he's fluffy. Stephanie watches me nervously. I smile and nod. All characters are good, if you're skilled enough. Let's fight then. And so the game begins. To my shock, Stephanie wastes no time attacking my character. She delivers punch after punch, carrying out special moves like she's got them memorized. I can only stay in shock as my health bar plummets and then... Game over! I won! I won! I'm not gonna flip the board. There's no board. There's a TV. I'm not flipping that TV. Boring. Are you sure you've never played this before? Never! Oh, that's I'll wait for the wave of irritation to come. I hate losing. I should be embarrassed I lost to a newbie. But I'm not, and the wave of irritation never comes either. Instead I feel proud. You're amazing, Stephanie. Like, crazy amazing. I don't know about that. You're too humble. I wish I'd filmed that. I mean, obviously I couldn't because I had to play, but wow. How are you so good when it's your first time? I raise my fist to bump hers, but Stephanie just stares at me. What? Fist bump! Oh. The mental image of Hazel literally flipping the TV. That would be fun. With a slight tremble, Stephanie lifts her hand and gently bumps her fist against mine. It takes less than a second for my early excitement to reignite. You have to play against Jace. You'll tell him it's your very first time and you've never even tried a tutorial before. He's going to be so annoyed when you beat him. I'm not sure I'll win every time. What if it was just beginner's luck? Nonsense! I believe in you. If you say so? Do you want to... I'm about to suggest we play another round when Zoe enters the room. She's chained out of her PJs and pulled her outer jacket on. Sorry, I know this is sudden, but I have to go home. She hurries to explain. Mom called and stuff. She waves her hand around like it's no big deal. Her expression obviously suggests otherwise. Stephanie snaps out of her stunned state faster than me, offering Zoe a disappointed frown. No, that's too bad. I hope everything's okay. Yeah, it's no biggie. She just wants me home. Want me to walk you back? It sounds so stupid tumbling out of my mouth like that, but I don't want to let her go without offering. She looked a little sad all evening. Was it all because of her mom? Whatever happened, she probably doesn't want to talk about it in front of Stephanie. I assume Zoe will agree to let me walk her back and we can chat then, but she shakes her head and turns me down. That's fine. Your mom already nagged Jace to walk me back. I don't mind. It's fine. She sighs. Enjoy your sleepover, okay? It could be both. It really could be both. I feel like with her mom, it could actually be the mom. On the other hand, I feel like Zoe would be like,
Oh, okay. No, you clearly want to enjoy this evening with Stephanie, so I'm gonna go. I could see both of these things being the case. So I direct a half-hearted smile at Stephanie. It was nice to meet you, Steph. I'm sorry I have to leave early. No worries. Family comes first, of course. Yeah. She walks out, firmly shutting the bedroom door behind her. Pacha leaves behind a glaringly awkward silence. Should we go to bed early? I glance at the clock on my phone. It's barely 10. I don't think Stephanie's actually ready to go to bed either. She's probably feeling awkward. Trying to brighten the mood, I force a smile. Why don't we play another round first? I want the girls' night to end on a good note, so I'll worry about Zori tomorrow. I can always text her. I don't like if it keeps going with a, oh, you know, Zoe's just second. I don't think that's a saying in English, is it? But like, I don't like if we're just gonna put Zoe on her back burner, because we can always text her whenever. Like, she's still very much your closest friend, and just because you have a new friend now that you're trying to get together with does not mean you should just, you know, push her off like that. That's not very nice. Don't do that. Second fiddle! Yes, thank you. My suggestion restores some of the earlier mood as Stephanie goes back into competitive mode. Sure, but don't get upset if I beat you again. I wasn't upset the first time. You did a good job hiding it, but I could hear your heart breaking. I have to get my revenge then. We set up another round and we spent the next hour gaming away. Eventually, Stephanie can't hold back her yawns anymore and we decide to get ready for bed. Shortly after midnight by the time we tuck ourselves into bed. I'm sleeping in my bed while Stephanie's occupying a big mattress on the floor. I hope our accommodations are to your liking. I know it's no 5-star hotel. It's too dark for me to see her face, but I can hear her giggle. You may rest assured, it's far better than a 5-star hotel. I'm not sure I believe you, but I'm not the type to refuse a compliment. Thank you for your kind review. As I'm about to... Oh my god. Sorry, 1 second. Ooh. I feel like I managed to hurt all of the muscles in my upper body today. I don't even know why. Yikes. As I'm about to doze off, a quiet voice calls my name. Hazel? Yes? Thank you for everything you've done for me tonight. It's been so fun. There's no need to thank me. I invited you because I wanted you to be here, and it was fun because, well, we usually have fun together, don't we? Oh, okay. She doesn't sound very sure. There's one last thing I'd like to try. As long as you don't mind. My heart jumps. What? It's going to just sound silly, but I've never done it before and I've always wanted to try it. Try what? I could never have predicted what Stephanie would say next. Will we play a round of truth or dare? That was anticlimactic. It's probably better for my heart this way. We can. It might be easier to play truth or truth, though. I don't think I have the energy to drag myself out of bed for a dare. That's fair. I don't think I could either. Stephanie clears her throat. You first. Okay. Truth or truth? Stephanie pretends to mull it over. Truth? When was the last time you lied? That's a pretty harsh question right off the bat. Let's go. It's a basic question, but I'm too sleepy to think of anything better right now. That's a basic question? Okay. When was the last time you lied? Earlier today. Oh! You lied to Zoe and I. What was the lie? No, it wasn't to you. I lied to Royce. I said your parents would be home the whole time, but that's not true. I'm not sure if I should scoff or laugh. In the end, the sound that escapes me is a weird combination of both. Stephanie, that is not a lie. You thought they would be home. Yes, but then I learned they wouldn't, and I didn't inform them that plans changed.
There's worse lies out there, trust me. No need to beat yourself up about it. Still, I feel bad. Stephanie starts thinking about what question to ask me, forgetting to ask truth or true first. Though I suppose it's rather obvious what the answer would be. There's only one option. Who was your first love? First love? I didn't expect her to ask that. Unfortunately, I don't exactly have an interesting answer for the question. I don't think I have a first love. That's not true! I had the option between there was this girl I liked and there was this boy I liked on Zoe's route. I've had crushes as a kid and teen, but I've never loved anyone. Oh, okay. Fair. Disregard me. I've never even been in a relationship, actually. Stephanie sits up on a mattress facing me. Really? Me neither. She's passionate about this topic, huh? I'm only 19. I'm still really young. It's not weird to never have dated anyone by now, right? What? No, not at all. Is that something she's been worried about for a long time? I feel an odd sense of responsibility to reassure her. Adrian, Jace, and I, none of us have ever been in a relationship, and we're all a year older than you. Yes, but you've done something. Haven't you? The frustration in Stephanie's voice makes me hesitate. She's definitely been upset about this for a while. I'm not the best person when it comes to offering advice, in spite of my instinct to always give my 2 cents on everything. Based on past experiences with Stephanie, I think the best thing I can do right now is simply let her vent and get things out of her system. Based on what she's told me, her only real friends are her brothers, and I can't imagine she ever talks to them about these things. So weird. Up until recently, I didn't care at all about romance. I just didn't feel like I had any reason to be interested in it. But now that I've acknowledged it exists, now I can't stop noticing how everyone else seems to have so much experience. Every time the topic of love or, comes up, it feels like everyone's already had their first kiss and their first love, and sometimes even their first heartbreak. And then there's me, who's never even held hands romantically. Sometimes I wonder if I've fallen so far behind I'll never be able to catch up. It's fine to take things at your own pace. You don't have to follow others. I've known I was pansexual since before I even knew there was a term for it. That said, I know plenty of people who took years to come out and miss out on a lot of stuff like their first high school romance or whatever. And yeah, it sucks. All the movies and books hype it up as a super important milestone in your life, and all your friends seem to have experienced it, so you're left wondering, why am I the only one who hasn't? But none of that actually has to be important unless you decide it is. Even if you don't have your first love until your 30s, it doesn't make that love any less valid. I know, but I want to fall in love. I want to hold hands with the person I like, eat at cute cafes, and chat about the things I love, like music and my mobile games. Why do I have to wait for the right one to come along? Why can't the right one just be here already? I bite my tongue. Oh, I'm being so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Like we said, 19 is still really young. No, it's okay. I understand what you mean. It's hard to watch everyone else being all lovey-dovey and wondering why you're not like them, when you want to be like them anyway. I let out a longing sigh. Oh, soulmates better make it up to us when we finally meet. Yeah. She still sounds upset. I'll tell you something funny? Sure. I already know I'm going to regret this, but it's too late to go back now. Yeah. Jason and we made this bet. I explained the details of the bet to Stephanie. She stays silent the entire time. Even when I finish the story, she's still completely silent. Okay. It's not the reaction I expected. I thought she would find it stupid and laugh a little. She's glaring. What's wrong? As if she's been snapped out of a trance, Stephanie relaxes her glare. I don't know. I suppose I'm a little jealous. Jealous? We only recently started to grow close and it's been so fun. If you start dating someone, you're not going to have as much time for me anymore. If you're so worried about losing me, why don't you date me yourself? It's a joke, but I think Stephanie might not have interpreted it as intended. What? I can't, that's too sudden. Stephanie, I said suddenly so hard to explain myself. It was only a joke. I didn't mean to imply anything, okay? Small smile pulls at Stephanie's mouth, and I should probably be alarmed by how warm it makes me feel. Not good enough for you, huh? It's my turn to freak out. What? No, that's not what I meant. I take a deep breath. You're messing with me, aren't you? Oops. You're evil. Adorably so. Though I don't say don't say that part out loud. That should be the other way around, no? I don't dare say that part out loud. Oh, Stephanie giggles away. I turn over in bed. I'm going to sleep now. Good night. Good night. I close my eyes. I think I'm more tired than I realize. Oh, and about that movie we watched earlier? I'm sorry if I acted weird when I asked if it was about two girls. I really liked it. Do you think you could recommend me more movies like that? Oh, sure. I pretend I don't hear a sigh of relief. If she feels like I'm making a big deal out of this, I've got a suspicion she might backtrack. Okay, nice. Thank you. Good night for real this time. Good night, Stephanie. The next 2 weeks are a blur. I spend more time with Stephanie than ever, arriving at school extra early and leaving extra late to make sure we get as much practice in as we can. Within reason, of course. She's got a curfew and she's very serious about making sure she doesn't break it. According to Stephanie, it's less that her family's controlling and more that they simply tend to over-worry. She hates making them worry, that's why she's so strict about her curfew and keeping her family updated on her whereabouts. It's too much for me, but everyone has different upbringings. I'm sure her family has a reason to be so protective of her. As for practice, things only get better with each passing day. Playing music together feels so natural, as if it's something we've always done. It's not always work either, we're spending a lot more time together in general. We eat lunch together, we sit in class together, we do homework together in the library, and spend hours texting when we're apart. Spending all this time with Stephanie, I barely even notice the absence of my other friend until I realize she hasn't answered any of my texts. Uh-oh! That's what I fucking say! Zoe still hasn't told me about what happened to her mom. I asked Jace today after if she told him anything on the walk back, but he simply shrugged. Maybe she doesn't want to talk about it, he said, and though I hate it, he's right. It's a family business, I can't force her to tell me if she doesn't want to. But you could reach out to her and say, hey, I have not forgotten about you just because I have made friends with someone else. If you want to, I'm there. Still, it's weird she keeps ignoring my text. Okay, never mind. She is reaching out, maybe. Sorry. It's weird she keeps ignoring my texts. Did I do something to upset her that evening? Ugh, whatever. I have too many things to worry about right now. Uh-oh. Ready to head out? Stephanie's cheerful voice snaps me out of my thoughts. I feel a tinge of guilt at how quickly I forget Zoe, but only for a moment before I'm once again distracted by the fuzzy feeling I get when I look at Stephanie. Uh-oh. Yes, let's go. I walk Stephanie to the front of campus as usual. There we wait for one of her brothers to come pick her up. Thankfully, it's not Royce this time, though I can't remember if it was her younger brother Alex or her older brother Eric who's showing up instead. Not that it makes much difference, they all smother her the same. The others just don't get a Sprite, because we were like, okay, we're gonna give this one guy a Sprite because he actually shows up in more than one singular scene, but the others are only gonna be mentioned. I should probably count myself lucky I'm a girl. Besides Royce, who's the most hot-headed of the three, Alex and Eric have been quite nice to me the few times I've run into them. But that remains a mystery though. The one time he picked her up, I didn't walk with her to the parking lot, so I've never met him. I'll just assume he's a DILF. Even if he's only half as good looking as his kids, it's a safe bet. Hello? Stephanie, I hope you know how lucky you are to get a free ride every day. My dad works late and my mom doesn't like to drive, so I can only really catch a ride on days I stay late at campus. Well, I appreciate it a lot of course, but I worry I'm a burden sometimes. They're the ones offering to pick you up. If it was a problem for them, wouldn't they just not do it? I'm the only girl in the family, so they're suspicious of all men. You know what? Fair enough, a lot of men suck. I wonder if things would have been different if Mother was still alive. Ooh! Oh! Oh! I don't remember her too much. I was so young when she passed away. But I do remember I was very fond of her. She must have been a good mom. she's as loving as the rest of your family, I'm sure that's true. Stephanie brightens. Thank you for not being weird about my brothers, by the way. I know Royce has been a little harsh on you, but they all trust you more than you know. Often, in spite of being troublesome for them. Yeah. Yeah. Elsewise, they wouldn't have let me compete with you. A dark cloud falls over her face. What's wrong? Stephanie opens her mouth to answer, but her words are muffled by a loud honk. Oh, Alex is here. See you tomorrow, partner? Yes, see you tomorrow. As if nothing happened, Stephanie skips over to her brother's car with a big smile. Alex sticks a hand out through the half-open window, offering me a quick wave that I weakly return, and then they drive off. Did she look so sad? I would ask about it next time I see her, but with everything else going on, I end up forgetting about it, and my question remains unasked. We are texting Zoe, but Zoe's not texting us back, it seems. Though I don't know what I'm texting Zoe, so like... A few more days pass and the beginning of the end officially arrives. So what's the big deal about today now again? We're performing in front of the class. It's our only real chance to get some feedback before the contest. Shudder runs through Jace. That's nerve-wracking. Thank you so much for your insightful observation. How are you feeling about it?
I feel confident.
I've got Stephanie by my side, so I feel confident. Practice as much as we can, regardless of what happens next. I think it's safe to say we've done our best. Glad you two are close now. Me too. Do I really have to say it? Say what? Yeah, say what? Smug bastards. I spit out every word with as much venom as I can muster. You do it right! Stephanie and I work really well together. Thank you for pushing me to ask her. Happy? Very. Yes, but I'm happy because you're happy, not because I was right. Though it does feel nice to have been right. Bastards. The boys walk me to the music class and wish me good luck before continuing down the corridor. It was nice of them to walk me here, considering they don't even have class in the building. Alright, let's do this.
Thank you for the show hair.
I open the door entering the classroom with my head held high. Everyone hasn't arrived yet, but I wanted to be early because Stephanie and I are up first. Good to see you, Hazel. Feeling ready? Born ready. You never run out of confidence, do you? That's good. Keep it up. I glance around the room while I remove my jacket. There's a lot more students than I expected, but Stephanie's nowhere in sight. That's weird. The text she sent me earlier said she'd already arrived. In the corner of the room, I notice a familiar white violin case. Did she go to the bathroom? Uh-oh. You up in 15 minutes. Where's Stephanie? Oh, I'm not sure. Well, go figure it out. If you're not here in time for your slot, you're losing it. I'll go find her right now. It's only when I exit the room that I notice how badly I'm trembling. Why do I feel so anxious? Stephanie's definitely just gone to the bathroom. Everything's going to be fine. But all my calls go unanswered, and when I check the nearest restroom, Stephanie isn't there. 11 minutes left. As the clock starts ticking down, my anxiety only grows. I try to call her again. Hello? A quavering voice answers. Stephanie, where are you? There's only 10 minutes left. Hazel. She interrupts me with a shaky sigh. I'm so sorry. I don't think I can do this. Oh no! Oh no! Where are you? I waste no time cutting to the chase. Where are you, Stephanie? Let's talk face to face. It takes her a few seconds to answer. I'm in classroom B. And then she hangs up. I immediately make my way towards the classroom she mentioned. I find Stephanie sitting in a corner, hands wrapped around herself while her chin rests on her knees. I approach her with careful steps. She only acknowledges my presence once I'm standing right in front of her. She tilts her head back to stare up at me with teary eyes. I'm so... She can't even choke out the words. She stands up, hands trembling as she tugs and pulls at her braid. This contest means so much to you, and I promise, and I'm ruining everything. She chokes up again, a fresh set of tears streaming down her cheeks. You don't have to explain yourself to me, Stephanie. Aww. I wrapped my arms around her, hoping it might offer some semblance of comfort. I do have to explain myself though, we're partners. We're partners, yet I'm only dragging you down. Would it surprise you to hear that I feel the same way sometimes? It does surprise her, at least to some extent, as Stephanie falls quiet for a second. What? I don't think I told you this, but after our first practice session, I was almost ready to give up. Understatement of the century, I was about to have a full-blown breakdown. I don't like working with others, and I hope you might be an exception, but for a moment it seemed like I'd made a mistake. And that hurt. It hurt because it meant accepting that maybe everyone else wasn't the problem. Maybe it was just me. And maybe Rachel was right, maybe I am difficult to work with, more than a little difficult if I'm being completely honest here. Stephanie hasn't stopped crying, but she still manages to voice her protest. I don't find you difficult to work with. I love playing music with you. Me too. Practicing together with you, it's been the most fun I've had in a long time. That's why I'm so glad I didn't give up. Not to mention relief that I had your support. If it weren't for you, I'm sure I would have quit. Point is, I've never seen you as a burden, Stephanie. I've never felt that you've dragged me down or anything silly like that. A weak smile pulls at Stephanie's mouth. Really? Really? You're not just saying that to be nice? I thought we'd already been through this. Do I look like someone who says things just to be nice? At that, Stephanie giggles and a happy mood starts to lift. I'm almost disappointed when she pulls away from the hug, though it brings me great relief to watch her wipe her tears away and face me with a fresh smile. Thank you, Hazel. You always know what to say. I never thought of myself as someone who knows what to say. If anything, I would argue I'm the opposite. Anyway, I'm just happy Stephanie trusts me enough to believe my words. I'm not sure what I would do if she didn't. Now, would you like to tell me why you're hiding in here? Signature pink blush returns tenfold. I have stage fright. She blurts out the words, shutting her eyes tight like she expects some form of immediate punishment. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, I should... Alright, I did think that might be the case. Her jaw drops. You knew? Not for sure, of course, but I had a hunch. Why else, with your talent, wouldn't you have tried competing before? It didn't seem like it stemmed from a lack of will. I assumed my assumptions must have been off since Stephanie never talked about it, but the moment she was late today, I think a part of me had already realized my assumption must have been correct after all. You know why I chose to play the piano? Because you like the sound of it? That's part of why I love it so much now, but it's not why I initially chose the piano. When I was younger, I was very insecure about my appearance. I was lanky, I had this awful bowl cut, and ew. Never told anyone about this before, at least not to anyone who didn't already know me back then, like Adrian or obviously Jace. Even though I left those insecurities back in middle school, they're still a sore spot for me. But I don't feel any fear or discomfort sharing my story with Stephanie. I trust her. It was not my greatest look, let's leave it at that. Because of my appearance, I didn't like to be the center of attention. Anytime people were focused on me, I felt like they weren't seeing the me I wanted them to see, just all the flaws and insecurities I had. So when I decided to learn an instrument, I knew it had to be piano. It takes up so much space, I thought, hey, this way everyone's going to be too busy staring at the piano to see me. But as I got older, I had come to terms with the fact that I was just avoiding the real issue, sacrificing what I really wanted in the process. I worked hard to be this good. I put a lot of effort into every performance. I want people to enjoy the music I play, but I also want them to recognize that it's not coming from just anyone, it's coming from me. I meet Stephanie's gaze straight on. This is going to sound obvious and maybe even a little condescending, but it's the best advice I can give you. Everyone has a little stage fright. Most people never have to get on a big stage and perform though. No. But life itself is sort of a performance in itself, don't you think? For example, how many times haven't you received a surprise gift you didn't actually like and then you had to feign excitement? How many times haven't you found yourself standing in a room full of people subconsciously altering the way you talk or walk to fit in with the rest of the crowd? It's obviously not the same as performing in front of a big audience of people with all their eyes honed in on you, I know that. But it's still pretty scary, no? I guess. And we still do it every day. And the more we do it, the more we get used to it. Even sometimes when we probably shouldn't because it might be better to show our honest selves, but that's another discussion. I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes we do make mistakes. say something stupid, or we do something stupid, or we get anxious because we think we've already screwed up and now everyone's looking at us weird and we're so sure that everyone's going to remember this for the rest of our life. But then life goes on. And it's all fine. And I keep hitting I don't know what button that is. Performing on stage isn't much different from that. 1 second you're so nervous you think you can't breathe, and then it's over and you're fine. Take it from someone who's been playing competitive piano since childhood despite being a constant nervous wreck. I'm speaking from experience here. Stephanie laughs, finally relaxing. Okay, I should at least give it a try. As long as you're comfortable. I'm comfortable enough to try, yes. Don't worry, people will be too busy watching me to pay you any attention anyway. Oh, how come I didn't think of that? That's true, what a relief. He's getting better at sarcasm, but his smile falls again. It must be so late now, we probably won't even get to perform. We're only a couple of minutes late. Maybe they will have mercy on us and let us have a go anyways. The teacher told you that you would lose the spot. Stephanie's expression doesn't improve. And even if she doesn't, it's okay. It's not like we'll be disqualified from the contest. Stephanie doesn't look fully convinced, but every minute we spend here, the less likely it is we will get to perform. We hurry back to the music classroom. In the end, the performance goes better than we could have hoped for. Stephanie's shaky at first, but by the end of it, she's wearing an excited smile. Not bad. She gives us an approving nod. I've taken some notes, but I'll email them to you later for you to consider. Since you decided to be fashionably late, this class has already gone on longer than it should have. No teacher's teasing tone makes it clear she's not actually mad, but Stephanie still goes red and lowers her head in apology. We were too late to perform during our actual slot, but our teacher was generous enough to give us a few extra minutes at the end of class. I think she could sense Stephanie had her reasons for being a little late. Everyone starts packing up, some students in a good mood, feeling optimistic about the upcoming contest, while others are less excited, worried about the feedback they got. Stephanie just looks happy to have survived the whole ordeal. As she should be. You did well, Stephanie. You should be proud of yourself. Stephanie jumps straight into fangirl mode. You're the one who should be proud. You were amazing. We should be proud. It was a team effort. Right? Phew! Aw, were you worried? No. Fine. Maybe a little. We walk outside. Stephanie checks her phone, frowning at whatever she sees on there. I wait for her to explain herself, and after typing up a short message, she does. No one can pick me up today. Work emergency. To take the bus. Oh, poor you, having to ride the bus with all those peasants. Stephanie rolls her eyes with an amused hug. She's so snarky these days. Is this my bad influence? I'm disappointed I have to wait longer to tell them how today went. They know I've been super worried about it. See. No one's coming to get her. She has to take the bus, which means no one's expecting her at home for a while. There's a question itching on the tip of my tongue, but it takes everything I've got to actually ask it. Well, since it's come down to this, why don't we just walk home? All the way to mine? It's not that far, like a 20-minute walk, right? I can just take a bus to mine once we're close enough to yours. It's not my most practical idea. In fact, it's mostly an excuse to get to spend more time with Stephanie. A 20-minute walk. You could definitely save the money and do that more often. Just walk. 20 minutes, that's nothing. She thankfully doesn't point us out, eyes lighting up in excitement at my suggestion. Sounds good. Stephanie quickly texts her dad to explain the situation. It's getting colder and colder every day. To make a point, Stephanie blows out a breath, forming white little puff clouds. Are you cold? Take her left hand, slipping my fingers between hers. When we were little and walked back from school together, Adrian would sometimes hold our hands like this. She's on the right and me on the left. I'm not sure why I'm telling her this story. After what happened earlier, I guess I just don't see the point in hiding anything about myself from her anymore. I've always been desperate to impress. Stephanie was no exception. But I don't think she'll think of me as anything less, even if I'm not perfect all the time. That's why I don't mind being vulnerable with her. Adrian insisted he was trying to keep our hands warm, but I think it was just an excuse to make sure we didn't run off into traffic. Or try and fight each other. Based on what you've told me about him, that does sound like something he would do. My eyes lift from our hands to Stephanie's face and then back to her intertwined fingers. Did you seriously grab her hand like that? Stephanie doesn't look uncomfortable in the slightest. Tightening a hold of my hand, she walks through the park with a big smile on her face. Continue holding her hand, at least until she pulls back herself. Oh, wait.
Thank you for the extra time.
So I know now why you decided to learn piano, but why did you choose to pick up an instrument in the first place? Did you always have an interest in music? Sort of. It's mostly because of Jace, though. Because of Jace? I thought he didn't play. He doesn't. He just indirectly influenced my decision to learn music. When we were younger, people were always comparing us. They didn't mean anything bad by it, but it still annoyed me to no end. Even if we're twins and even if we're close, we're still different people. Things like friends and sports came naturally for Jace, but not for me. I always felt like people were wondering, why isn't she more like her brother? They didn't actually think like that, I was just projecting. But I was still desperate for something that would make me stand out from him. Something that would force people to see us as different people. Jace was already a natural athlete, so that was a no-go. And though Adrian usually had to force him to get off his butt and do his homework, he's quite smart too. Music was the first thing I could think of that could be exclusively my thing, my talent. Childish, right? You were a child. It's normal for children to be. Immature. Stephanie cringes. You said it, not me. I don't think it was your only reason anyway. What do you mean? Learning an instrument is hard work. You wouldn't have chosen such a difficult hobby merely out of petty. I think you're underestimating how petty I can be. But you're not wrong. I've always loved music, regardless of Jace. I clear my throat. What about you? Why did you decide to learn the violin? Stephanie's smile falters and I immediately regret my question. You don't have to say if it's too private. No! She shakes her head. I do want to tell you. I decided to learn the violin because of my mother. She never played competitively. It was only a hobby for her, but no less precious. Or at least so my father says. I don't remember her since I was so young when she passed. Most of my memories of her are stories told by the rest of the family. It frustrated me that I had less memories with her than they did, so I picked up the violin as a way for me to connect with her. The confession warms my heart. That's beautiful, Stephanie. I think your mom would be touched to hear that. You think so? Sure of it. Now I really feel childish though. You had such a pure-hearted reason compared to mine. Stephanie giggles, shaking her head before her expression settles into a fond smile. Regardless of what inspired our love for music, I'm happy we're here now. Or else I might never have gotten to know you. That would have been very unfortunate. The way she says it, it's so sweet. And in an instant, that weird and fuzzy feeling has returned, squeezing my heart. Normally I try to ignore it or brush it off, but not this time. I smile at Stephanie. She returns the smile, eyes glimmering as we continue our walk. Hours later, I'm home again. Can't stop smiling. The whole way to Stephanie's street and back, I couldn't stop grinning for a second. I'm not sure why being around Stephanie makes me feel like this, but I don't want to question the feeling anymore. I just want to embrace it, wrap it around myself like a big blanket, and wear it everywhere I go. Oh, I almost forgot. I promised to text her as soon as I get home. Before it slips my mind again, I fire off a quick text to assure her I got home safely. There's no immediate reply, but that's not weird. Her family must be home now, so she's probably telling them about today's class. I hope they're proud of her. They should be. Mom calls out from the kitchen. Hazel, is that you? Slipping off my outdoor jacket, I respond. Yeah, sorry I'm late. I had to walk Stephanie home. Oh, no worries. How was your walk? And how's Stephanie doing? I miss her. As if she wasn't here just a few days ago. But I can't bring myself to roll my eyes like I normally would. Not when I also miss her, even though I saw her just a few minutes ago. It's probably selfish to want to monopolize all her time like this, but I hope she texts me back soon. There's nothing specific I want to or need to say to her. It's simply that texting with Stephanie, even about the most mundane topics, is some of the most fun I've ever had. Don't forget about your other friend though. I'm begging. Stephanie never replies to my text. First day I didn't find it weird. Normally she wouldn't take more than a few hours to respond, but there's plenty of reasonable explanations. Maybe she forgot her phone at home and went out, or she's really exhausted from the showcase, still reloading her social battery. But when she doesn't send me a message a day after that either, I start to get worried. And when the end of the weekend arrives, still without any messages from Stephanie, my concern inevitably hits its peak. I don't get it. Did I do something? Our last interaction has been on constant replay in my mind. We opened up to each other, we performed in front of the class, we held hands in the park, we talked about her mom. Over and over I replayed the interaction. Where did things go wrong? Stephanie seemed perfectly happy when I dropped her off at her house. Zoe clears her throat. Are you overthinking this? Like massively overthinking. Hey! We're still talking to you! Yay! Zoe must be able to tell them about the protest because she continues immediately. You see her on campus tomorrow, right? Just find her and talk to her face to face. But I know, you want an answer right now, but there's not much else you can do except wait. Why don't we try and take our mind off this whole situation for a little while at least? We could... I don't know. I feel like I can't relax until I know she's okay. I'm pretty sure it's not something I did for once, so what if she's having problems with her family, or what if she got sick? There's hundreds of possibilities and it annoys me to no end that I don't know which one is true. Next time you see her, you might as well confess. Had I not been so flustered by her words, perhaps I would have noticed a hint of irritation in Zoe's tone. What? Oh, what, me? It's obvious you're crushing on Stephanie. I'm not crushing on her. She's great, of course, and really pretty, and really kind, and really this, and really that, whatever. Enough already. Zoe's coldness takes me by surprise. I struggle to reply until she stands up, approaching the door. Are you leaving? I'm still in shock. Surely she's not... Yes. She snaps at me. Against my better judgment, I find myself stepping back at her. Why are you being weird? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? What about what's wrong with you? Stephanie's the only thing you talk about these days. Because of the contest. You think this is about a competition? You've always been a busy person. It's not news to me. And it was never an issue either because when you did have free time, at least that was one of your priorities. Now the only thing you ever have time for is Stephanie and your big stupid crush on her. I don't have a crush on her, and even if I did, why is that any of your business? Because you keep making it my business. She's right. She's right. The other weekend, we were supposed to hang out and catch up after not hanging out for weeks, but of course you invited her. I asked. Yes, you asked, and so I had no choice but to say yes. You were so giddy and excited about it. How was I supposed to say no? I tried to be optimistic. I tried to be nice and welcoming. And like you said, Stephanie's so nice. I would have loved to be your friend. Except you left me feeling like a third wheel the whole night. I thought today was supposed to be about us, since she wasn't here, but it's still all about her. You haven't even asked how my week was or what I wanted to do today. You invited me here so you could vent about her, and the moment she texts or calls you, you're going to go running to her. That's not... You're still going to deny it? Seriously? Alright, let's see how it is. Zoe storms out, slamming her bedroom door behind her. I stare dumbly at the closed door. I'm not sure how many seconds or minutes have passed when Jace knocks on the door. Are you okay? Fine. You sure? We can talk about it if you... I'm fine. Okay. Confident Jace is gone. I drag myself into bed, tugging the blanket over my head. Stephanie, Zoe, it's all too much at once. Hope Stephanie texts me back soon. Girl! Ah! Yes, okay, we have a crush on Stephanie. It would be nice if she talked to us. That's all fair and well, but you literally just fought with your best friend because your stupid crush is getting in the way of your very normal and very important friendship. I step onto campus with a single plan in mind. I need to speak to Stephanie. Maybe this was all a misunderstanding, or maybe I did something to upset her. Either way, I just want to know what went wrong, and then I want to fix it. After that, I can figure out how to handle Zoe. I just can't do both at once. Stephanie's always been an... Jesus Christ. Stephanie's always been an early bird. If I'm lucky, I should be able to catch her right before class. I pause outside the door. Is someone already inside? Peering inside through the gap in the door, I noticed Stephanie chatting to our teacher. I'm not sure what compels me to wait and eavesdrop instead of announcing my arrival, but it's a decision I quickly come to regret. I'm going to withdraw from the contest. What? Our teacher's better at hiding her surprise. Oh, alright. May I ask why? Personal reasons? If that makes any sense, our teacher slowly nods her head. I see. Is your partner aware of this decision? Knowing Hazel, I can't imagine she took it well. I can't see Stephanie's face from this angle, so I can only imagine what her expression might be. Not yet. I'm afraid my decision will hurt her. All weekend, I've been mulling over how to break the news to her. I even considered going back on my decision to withdraw, but I can't do this. I tried though, I really did. Our teacher offers her a sympathetic smile accompanied by a pat on the shoulder. Sometimes that's the best you can do. But still, I tune out the rest of the conversation, wandering away from the door to lean against a nearby wall. She's dropping out. And I'm not even the first person she thinks to tell? I feel angry. No, not angry, hurt, betrayed, frustrated, confused. These emotions hit me all at once, leaving no room to process what I just overheard. I don't understand. Wasn't everything going well? Too well, it turns out. I should have known it was too good to be true. I wait a few more minutes before I enter the classroom, just as the other students begin to arrive too. I claim my seat next to Stephanie, not wanting to raise any suspicion. Morning! Stephanie gives me a tentative smile. Her greeting is a little more hesitant than normal, though I wouldn't never have noticed had I not overheard the earlier conversation. We need to talk after class. Okay. Stephanie doesn't look surprised. She's probably assuming it's about her going MIA this weekend. I'm only barely able to focus on class, mentally preparing for what comes after the entire time. As soon as class is over, I lead Stephanie to a secluded corner near the campus entrance. I don't want anyone to overhear us. Neither of us talk the whole way there, and the tension is almost so thick that it's tangible. I feel like I'm leading us both to our deaths. I almost dread reaching our destination, but all journeys must come to an end. To start, why didn't you tell me you were quitting? Blunt much? Let me be mad in peace. Mad in peace? Ah! Slowly backing away. The color drains from Stephanie's face. She's naturally pale, yes, but her face has gone pure white now. How did you... I should at least let her finish. My patience is at its limit, but I still want to give her a chance to say it herself. You overheard us, didn't you? Stephanie sighs, shoulders slouching. I'm sorry I didn't say anything sooner. I only made this decision myself over the weekend. That's also why I didn't reply to any of your texts. I'm sorry about that too. I didn't do it to hurt you though, I was just scared of disappointing you. Of course I'm disappointed. And confused. Everything was going so well, Stephanie. We worked so hard. You worked so hard. Now you're giving up? Just like that? I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I let out a frustrated breath. I need to control my emotions before I say something I shouldn't. Is this because of your stage fright? No, that's it. You see... Stephanie stumbles over her words. I can practically see the gears spinning in her head, trying to think of a suitable excuse. Whatever sorry excuse you've got up your sleeve, you can keep it to yourself. I don't even want to hear it. Hazel! Suddenly her eyes narrow. I've never seen her this mad. It's not an excuse, I have a reason. Can't be a good reason. Okay, Hazel, you know what? Fuck off. Shut up. I'm being too rash, I know that, and I'm about to apologize. I really am, but... It is a good reason. It is a good reason because it's important to me. And I thought I was important to you. I thought you would take the time to listen and try to understand me. But you won't even hear me out, you say? The empty laugh she exhales is void of any joy. No problem. I won't force you to. Goodbye. Okay, yeah? Yeah, we deserve that. Stephanie walks back inside campus, leaving me standing there like an idiot. Which, in hindsight, I probably am. Yes! 100%! I take my time wandering home, but my destination isn't even my house. It's Zoe's. Worth a shot, at least. I try knocking on the door, but no one answers. Maybe she's still in class. I sit down on the porch, not ready to give up yet. In the end, I wait almost an hour before she shows up. She doesn't look surprised to see me, her head tilted slightly to the side, her eyes looking me up and down with a hint of amusement in them. You look like a kicked puppy. A sad smile tucks at my mouth, but I don't say anything. This is such a typical us thing, don't you think? Arguing, not speaking for a full day, and then randomly just popping up at the other's doorstep. It has happened a strange number of times. Our fight yesterday felt so final, almost like we were never going to talk again. I think I forget it wasn't even the first time we had an argument. Though it was the biggest one yet. Both stubborn mules, too stubborn not to argue, but also too stubborn not to make up. Hey, whatever works for us, right? You still deserve an actual apology, though. She sits down next to me. Is Stephanie the reason you look like a kicked puppy? I decide it's best to be honest. Partially, yes. But I'm just as upset about our fight. It's fine. No, it's not. You were right to be upset with me. Only been talking about Stephanie lately, and that led me to neglect our friendship. It doesn't matter if it's only briefly over a long period of time, I've been a bad friend to you. And I'm sorry about getting all weird and defensive when you said I liked her. I'm not sure if I like her or not. Right. Alright, fine. I most likely do like her. But I'm only now starting to acknowledge it, so give me a break, okay? Yeah. I'm sorry too, by the way. I should have told you how I was feeling instead of getting upset at you for not noticing. I've been weird and sort of jealous. Jealous? Wait, do you like me? Zoe pulls her face. Not like that. But yeah, despite all your faults, I do love being your friend.
Thank you for the pigtail. And the hydrogen. And the pasta chest. Okay, ho.
And the pad. And saving my game. Okay, pasta checky. Everything hurts today. All the redeems. I stretched weirdly earlier today at work, and ever since then it feels like all of the muscles in my back, as soon as I try to sit up more straight, like, you know, posture check, actually stop sitting like a shrimp, everything hurts. I don't know how to fix it. Thank you. It sucked seeing you get so close with Stephanie, whether it was romantically or platonically. Until now, I've been your only girlfriend. Even though you're more of an introvert and I'm an extrovert, even though our interests were so different, we still bonded. But when you got closer to Stephanie, suddenly our differences seemed like such a big deal. You and Stephanie are similar, while I don't know, I guess I felt like I was being replaced. I'm almost offended by that. Stephanie could never replace you, Zoe. No one could. Of course I like Stephanie a lot, but it's just as friends or more. I hope she'll be a part of my life for a long time. But at the end of the day, she's Stephanie and you're Zoe. I like you for different reasons and I want both of you in my life. Despite Zoe's lighthearted tone, it's only now that she seems to fully relax. Thanks. I think I really needed to hear that. Anytime. Enough of the sappy crap though. What happened with Stephanie? And the moment's ruined. You sure you want to talk about her so soon? I'm not doing this for you, I want to know the gossip. Me young lady, we're getting to the bottom of this whether you like it or not. Despite my whining, I do end up telling Zoe everything that happened. She says next was to be expected. You're a dumbass. I know. Thankfully she leaves it at that. I don't think I could have handled any more scolding after how much I berated myself over the situation. Here's what we're going to do. Well, what you are going to do. You need to call Stephanie and ask her to meet you. You have to admit you're a big idiot for not hearing out and give her a chance to explain her side of things. Properly, this time. I raise a hand. Zoe nods for me to speak. May I exclude the big idiot part? Zoe smirks. Nope. It's absolutely crucial. Say so. By some miracle, Stephanie agrees to meet me in the park a few hours later because she's a nice person. I arrive 20 minutes early, too anxious to stay at home and watch the seconds tick down. She changes her mind and bails last minute, and what do I do then? Maybe it's an overdramatic thought, but the idea that Stephanie might never speak to me again is terrifying. The time we spent together has been some of the best ever. I don't want to imagine a future where Stephanie isn't a part of my life anymore. So what role I wanted to play in my future, that is something I will have to think more about at a later date. Stephanie arrives around 5 minutes before we were meant to meet. I relaxed a little. At least she showed up. My discomfort promptly returns once I remember the conversation we're about to have. Hi. Hello. And then silence. Followed by more silence. And then, just as I'm about to force myself to speak up, you said you wanted to hear my reason? Yes. Also, I wanted to apologize for not... Stephanie shakes her head. You already apologized enough over the phone, and honestly I owe you an apology as well. I really don't want to be on bad terms with you, Hazel. If you forgive me for not telling you right away, I have no reason to hold a grudge against you for what happened earlier. I still feel like what I did was worse. Stephanie wasn't trying to intentionally be mean, while I... No, I can't think like that, and we're both agreeing to try and move on. I need to focus on that now. And not for her to continue, not sure what else to say. She takes a sharp breath. I've been hiding something from you. I never told my family the full truth about the contest. As far as they know, the winner gets some fancy certificate and that's it. It's about you winning and then going to Europe. I don't think your family would be fine with that. Right? They've been completely in the dark about the going abroad part. I was so naive hiding things from them, from you? I should simply have told them before I promised to enter this contest with you. All this time we've been so excited to share this adventure together. She's saying she never had any intention of going through with it, even if we won. Oh, let her speak, let her say what. My mouth says shut, waiting for her to continue. I already knew they wouldn't approve. Stupidly, I still thought I could pretend I could already do this duet with you. At least for a short while, just for a few days, and then I would tell you that I couldn't participate after all. I had no idea how much fun we would have together. I had no idea how great friends we would become, or that you would help me work on overcoming my fear of performing. After a class performance, I decided I didn't want this to only be some unreachable dream. I wanted it to be reality. So I sat down with my family to talk. I didn't even get to finish before they said no. Oh yes. Don't do that. No, don't. Stop doing that. I love dropping several hundreds of frames while I'm playing a visual novel where nothing much is happening, but like literally the most movement on screen right now is me. Good again? Okay. I understand where they're coming from. They're not this protective to be mean or controlling. They're just worried. Bruh. Stream is still going, but I feel it might crash any second now. Come on. Please. It's been going just fine the past almost 3 hours already. Don't do that now. I just worried. They don't want me to do anything too difficult or to take on too much stress by myself. They're scared that if I'm too far away from them, I'm going to struggle and I won't have anyone nearby to help. But I'm an adult now, even if it may not always feel like it. I want to make my own choices. I want to make my own mistakes. Only once I'm confident she's done do I speak again. So, to sum it up, you still want to do the contest? She nods. And the only thing holding you back is your family. Another nod. I see. I can't say I know for sure what I would do in your situation. My family can be protective sometimes, sure, but in general they've always been supportive of my decisions. They know I'm stubborn and that I will usually do things my way first. Even when my way might not be the best path, they respected me enough to let me make mistakes. Making your own choices and facing the consequences of your decisions is an inevitable part of life. Your family can shield you from that forever, regardless of how good their intentions are. So if you want my opinion, I say you should do what you want. Whether you decide to respect your family's wishes and drop out, or go against them and go through with the contest, I will respect your decision. You have the right to decide what's best for you, Stephanie, regardless of what others think or where a choice may lead you. Stephanie smiles. In that case, isn't the answer obvious? Is it? I want to perform with you, Hazel. As long as the decision is up to me alone, I will always choose you. I see. Let's give it our best then, partner. I offer her my fist. She bumps it with confidence. Of course. My feelings for Stephanie, my reconciliation with Zoe, my concerns about the future. I'm going to put all of those aside for the next few days. We're winning that contest no matter what it takes. Oh boy. Oh boy. At last, the day we've been preparing for arrives. Took some bumps and tears to get to this point, but standing here, there's one feeling that stands out to me the most. Nausea. I think I'm going to throw up. No! Hazel! I force myself to hold my head high. Partially because I don't want any of the other competitors to chance a glance at me and notice what a nervous wreck I am. But mostly because Stephanie's standing right next to me, trembling like a leaf in the wind. Nervous? She stares up at me with furrowed brows and a displeased pout. Fun of me? No, I'm checking on you. She finally relaxes and a tired smile takes over her face. Sorry, I know you're trying to help. I try again, more gently this time. Nervous? Yes, really nervous. That's okay. I'm nervous too. Are you worried we won't do well? Practiced as hard as we could and I believe that will show in our results. But I'm still nervous. It's not a bad thing to be nervous though. No? Logically speaking, it's a natural feeling. Who wouldn't get nervous going up on a big stage and performing in front of thousands of people in a contest against a bunch of extremely talented... You're not helping? Ah, well, you get it. It's not weird to be nervous, okay? Some may be better at hiding it, but I guarantee you everyone here is nervous about how the performances will go. And it's a good thing because it means they care. We want us to go well, right? That's why we're nervous. And that's also why we're going to give it our very best. By some miracle, my pep speech manages to cheer up Stephanie. You're right. Stephanie's grin is so bright, it's almost blinding! But it fills me with confidence. She is so cute. To win, you need a winner's mindset, right? So not only are we going to do our best, we're going to win. I know it. She declares that with such certainty, it's impossible not to believe in her. And after we win, we're going to travel around Europe and work with a world-renowned musician. And etc. To the giggle, Stephanie bobs her head in agreement. And etc. I didn't leave her hanging any longer, knocking my fist against hers. I'm still feeling jittery, but I've made up my mind to just trust Stephanie. She's right. To win, you need to believe you will. And with her by my side, I feel like I've already won anyway. Just when I expect Stephanie to fall quiet for the rest of the way, she speaks up again. There's something I need to tell you. Seriousness in her tone takes me by surprise. Yes? She fidgets awkwardly with her ponytail. Well, it's more like something I would like to thank you for. She takes a deep breath. These past few months, you have no idea how many times I've wanted to quit. If I'm being completely candid, I was prepared to quit before I even started. The idea of actually going through with this contest was simply too daunting for me, especially when I wasn't even sure if I would have my family's support. Once it was confirmed that they would not, I felt so guilty. I was wasting your time, playing pretend with you when you could have been practicing with someone who was actually serious about this. Worst thing is, I felt even guiltier because a part of me was also relieved. Relieved that they want me to do this. It was a perfect excuse. If I quit now, it wouldn't be because I got scared and gave up. I had tried my best. It was out of my hands. That's what I believed. That's what I wanted to believe. But then I remembered how you were always willing to push me even when I sometimes didn't want to be pushed. It just tightens. I'm sorry. I know I can be pushy. I'm really sorry if I ever... Please don't apologize. I didn't mean it as a bad thing. I like that you push me, Hazel. Somehow you always manage to push me just the right amount. If it weren't for you, I know for certain I would not be standing here today. And if I wasn't, I know for a fact I would have regretted it for the rest of my life. She takes my hand. It's hard for me to look her in the eye, but when I do... Thank you, Hazel. You're a great friend and the best partner I could ever ask for. I smile back at her and give her hand a soft squeeze. Same goes for you, Stephanie. We continue to stare at each other with bashful smiles, holding hands up until the very last minute when we're about to go on stage. And then, the performance goes off without a hitch. My parents meet us as soon as we step out of the performance hall, showering us both in praise. Though Stephanie's dad couldn't be here to support her, I hope seeing my parents will bring her some comfort. Zoe, Adrian, and Jace are also here. While my parents chat with Stephanie, they approach me. Amazing! Show-stopping! Mind-blowing! What a wonderful performance! Adrian rolls his eyes at her romantics, but he doesn't look any less happy. Proud of you, Hazel. Stephanie as well. You both did great. And last but certainly not least, there's Jace. It was alright. Way to ruin the mood. But I know he's just being awkward. Thanks, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Mom and Dad approached me next, but I noticed Stephanie's gone missing. When I asked to tell me she went outside for some fresh air. I'm going to go check on her quickly. Be right back. It's probably no big deal, but I don't want to ignore the bad feeling I've got in my chest. I find Stephanie in the garden outside, staring up at the cloudy sky. I approach her with hesitant steps. Though I try to be quiet, not wanting to startle her, I know she's heard me when she turns around, giving me a confused look. Why did you follow me outside? Your friends and family must want to celebrate with you. While leaving you alone out here in the cold? I don't think so. I stop right in front of her. I can't tell if her flushed cheeks are from the cold or embarrassment. I'm not sure this is the right thing to do. Maybe I shouldn't have come outside. Maybe I shouldn't say what I'm about to say next. Maybe she simply needs some space. Maybe I'm ruining that right now. But it's Stephanie and she looks so sad and I don't want her to be. The least I can do is try. Are you okay? Hey. Whatever's on her mind, it's difficult for her to put into words. She stops, hesitates, and then starts again. Eventually, she whispers the words. I'm disappointed my family didn't come. It's a little difficult for them to show up when I didn't even know you'd be performing, don't you think? I know, I'm the one who decided not to invite them. But I did so because I thought it wouldn't matter if they came or not. I thought I'd be fine without them here. And for a moment, it genuinely was fine. When we were on that stage, I felt like we were just two of us and our music. I've never been more at peace. But then we stepped outside, and your family and friends were all there, and I was alone. It was my very first time performing on stage, but no one was there to watch me. They're excited for you too, you know. Seriously, I think Mom might love you more than she loves me. At this point, with how much she gushes about the two of you, she might as well just go ahead and adopt you and Zoe. Stephanie giggles, but her happiness is brief. Please don't think I'm ungrateful for the support. Your family and friends are also wonderful and I really appreciate how welcoming they've been. But it's not the same as my own family. Seeing all of you together, I was a little jealous. She sighs and shakes her head. No, not just a little, a lot. Though I often joke that I enjoy being the object of others' envy, it doesn't actually feel that great at the moment. At least not when Steph Nice! Involved. That's a typo. It's not true that no one was watching you. Even if they didn't specifically show up for you, everyone in that room loved your performance. I promise you, none of them could take their eyes off of you. I don't know about that. It's true. And I know it's true because I was watching you too. And what I saw was beautiful. Leaning my head back to look up at the sky, I noticed snowflakes have started falling. Snow has been on and off for the past few days, piling up one day and melting the next. I rub my hands together, trying to keep myself warm, and my eyes drift back to Stephanie. God, she's sleeveless! She must be freezing. We should go back inside. It's way too cold out here. Wait! Stephanie grabs my arm, stopping me before I take a single step. I have more to say. Okay. Her face is burning red now, and I'm pretty sure it's not just from the cold. Still, I wait patiently for her to find her words. I don't know how to say this. I wasn't actually planning to say this today. Not right now. Maybe not ever. But I don't want to never say it, so I'm just going to go for it. She takes a deep breath and exhales. I like you, Hazel. Okay, yes, I like you too. We're friends, remember? I shake my head with a confused laugh. Isn't it obvious we like each other? How is she so scared to say that? Stephanie stares at me with an annoyed pout. Suddenly what she actually means clicks. Oh, you like me. I can tell it takes all the resolution she has to firmly repeat her confession. I like you, yes. Oh wow. My reply is painfully dumb, but I can't find the mental room to get embarrassed. I'm too busy turning Stephanie's words over in my head. She likes me. She likes me. I've never liked anyone before, so I wasn't sure at first. Stephanie continues her confession, not letting my stupid silence and gaping mouth stop her. It's hard for me to differentiate between feelings of admiration and friendship and what I think is romantic. You already know this, but I don't have many people I admire, I don't have many friends, and I have no experience in the romance department. I've always thought you were pretty, of course, but I wasn't sure if it was attraction or if I just thought you were pretty in a way that girls normally think other girls are pretty. I finally breathed in enough air to say something. I'm the wrong person to ask that question. When I think a girl is pretty, it usually means I want to kiss her. The next words don't come out as gracefully as I would have liked, but it's honestly a miracle I'm able to say anything right now, so I'm not going to complain. But for the record, I think you're very pretty. Her features are frozen, almost like her face can't decide if it should break out into a smile or tears. You do? I'm out of breath again, heart doing somersaults in my chest at the hopeful look in her eyes. Uh-huh. Oh, nice. Thank you. I force myself to maintain eye contact with her. Something tells me Stephanie's reached the limit of her courage today, which means whatever happens next is up to me. So, do you want to? Do I want to do what? Kiss me? Oh! Was that an offer? Only if you wanted to be, since, I think you're pretty, and you think I'm pretty. And I think we just confessed to each other, but maybe I got confused. We were being vague. Anyway, there's no pressure at all from me. We could also pretend it's never happened, and pretend it's never happened? Absolutely not. I'm not sure when or how Stephanie got so close, but it's not as if I'd ever complained. Besides, I'm too busy staring at her face, questioning if it shouldn't be illegal to be as beautiful as she is. Woohoo! There it is! Hypothermia and frostbite on a bitch day, sure! I don't get to linger on the thought for long. Small and trembling hands are threading through my hair, and then her mouth meets mine. Stephanie kisses just as she approaches everything else in life, with a hint of hesitance, but undeniably genuine. Inexperienced, but in a charming way that sends my heart fluttering. In the other one as well, I'm not sure if you were there for that. I think it's the way the hair is drawn. It's soft and short, but perfect. Just as she was first to initiate, Stephanie's also first to pull away. I instinctively chase her lips an inch before remembering the situation, holding myself back. It's only a first kiss, there will hopefully be many more, no need to rush things. Opening my eyes, I expect to find the nervous and flustered Stephanie, but she looks excited more than anything, failing terribly at biting back her smile. Would you like to do one last crazy thing with me? It's not what I expected her to say, but it's also not the biggest surprise Stephanie's given me today. I answer her question with confidence. By now, I think it's obvious there's no way I could ever refuse you anything. Good. I must be crazy to agree without even asking where we're going, but I can't bring myself to regret my decision when it makes her smile like that. Let's go then. Where are we going? Never mind. I definitely need to learn how to say no to her. Blindly following Stephanie's wishes is always going to be an appealing idea in theory, but I'll have to be more careful in the future lest I want to die young. Stephanie eyes me amused. It's going to be fine. Oh, are we going to your parents' house? She squeezes my hand while she brings out the hand to knock on the door. I was hoping for a second to steal my composure, but the devil himself opens the door before I even get the chance to blink. Yeah, she is rich. Okay. Stephanie, where have you been all day? His worried eyes shift from his sister to me, narrowing into annoyed slits as he looks me up and down. Hazel! Always a pleasure. Okay, this is starting to get old. Likewise. He doesn't even try to hide his suspicion as his eyes do a quick up and down. Why are you wearing formal? He drifts off, but the surprise on his face clearly translates his thoughts. Stephanie notices this and swiftly cuts in. I performed a duet on stage for the first time today. It went really well. Like, really well. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I think we might even have a chance of winning, right, Hazel? I nod, affirming her words, and Stephanie's expression goes determined. I've already told you this, but if we win, I will be accepting that music internship abroad. I know you would all prefer if I didn't, but I've already decided. But you won't have to worry. I promise I'll text and call, and we can even video call. Am I forgetting something? Alright, though I'll be traveling for a while, I don't plan to do that forever. When I graduate, I want to teach music to kids. I mean, I like that they're both thinking that they have a chance at winning. I genuinely think they do, but also they're acting like they've already won. It's like, after all this, when you don't win, it's gonna be very awkward. And lastly, Stephanie's eyes fall on me. Her smile widens. Also, I asked Hazel out. We're girlfriends now. Damn it! That's the only part you're going to react to? But rather than anger or shock, the expression Royce gives us is, no way! Is that a smile? It sounds like we have a lot to talk about, Stephanie. At least Stephanie shares my surprise over Royce's reaction. You're not upset with me? He sighs, but the amused smile remains. I will not pretend I'm a fan of all of your decisions, because I most definitely am not. But I want you to be able to tell me things, Stephanie, so that we can talk about them even if we might not always agree. I never want to make you feel like I don't care what you think or want, but that's exactly what I've done. I'm sorry if you've been so dismissive of your feelings. We haven't been fair to you at all. And I speak confidently for our father and brothers as well when I say we would all have loved to come watch you perform today. I'm sorry I didn't... No, I'm sorry. We're all sorry. It's because we shut you down without listening to you properly now that we've now missed your first performance. For a moment, guilt is written all over his face, but then he visibly forces it down, facing Stephanie with a confident smirk. From now on, how about I promise you we won't try to make choices for you anymore? And in return, perhaps you could promise me you will always tell us things first? Stephanie's eyes shine with unshed tears. I'd like that a lot. The trust and affection between the two siblings tugs at my heartstrings. At the end of the day, there's no doubt they love each other too much to ever hold a grudge. It's family for you. We may squabble or disagree from time to time, but in the end, love prevails. Horny. Good. Royce gives us another quick skim. You both must be freezing. Where are your jackets? His eyes narrow in on me. Hazel, you should have given her your coat at least. It hasn't even been a day and you're already being a lousy girlfriend. Hey! His tone is teasing, I think, as he welcomes us inside the mansion. Mansion? Huh. Royce gets a housemaid! Oh, Jesus Christ. To prepare some warm tea, then calls a taxi for me. He and Stephanie have some things to discuss when the rest of the family gets home, but for now he lets Stephanie and I have some time alone in the living room. Now that the adrenaline has worn off, Stephanie is visibly much more nervous than before. I can say I'm in a much better state, but I know that awkward silence is only going to make it worse. So... I was hoping if I opened my mouth the words would just tumble out, but I pull a blank. Stephanie tries as well. So? My heart is beating unnaturally fast. Not that I'm aware of how fast is unnaturally fast in terms of the science and all that, but this is definitely too fast. Surprisingly, it's Stephanie who braves enough to start a conversation first. It's my first time having a girlfriend. Mine too. It's pretty nice. Yeah. And that's when we both break into a fit of giggles. After everything that's happened today, this is the part where we're too shy to talk? It's quite silly, isn't it? There's really no need to be nervous. Because we're already on the same page about how we both feel, aren't we? Of course. Unless when you said we're girlfriends now, you meant platonically. I meant it romantically, of course. You might now. I'll be very upset if you flirted with anyone else. Stephanie's possessiveness is a delightful surprise. Not sure how to respond, I make a joke out of it. No need to worry about that. I'm nothing like my brother. Stephanie giggles again. I'm sure Jace would be a loyal boyfriend. You're not going to try and find out, are you? Not in this lifetime! Timeline, not lifetime. What the hell? Stephanie rolls her eyes so the smile never leaves her. My attitude is definitely rubbing off on her. I think I'm perfectly content with this much more beautiful, much more talented sister. She's teasing, but her praise still heats up my face. As long as I'm your favorite, I'm pleased. With a big smile, she nods. Though her smile is promptly replaced by a small frown. But about this whole girlfriend thing, I know what she's going to say before she even starts. Though I normally try my best to avoid interrupting her, I can't help myself this time. Let's take things at our own pace. We're both new to this, and honestly, I don't care how everyone else does relationships. We'll do things our own way, and we'll be happy together. Stephanie relaxes, regaining some of her earlier excitement. It's obvious she's been worried our friendship would drastically change now that we're together. I want to go on our first date as soon as possible, though. I nod, happy with that. We drifted closer through our conversation. Before I can second guess myself, I reach out to toy with her ponytail. Stephanie doesn't flinch, leaning closer. Would it be alright if I planned the date? My instinct to have control over everything immediately screams absolutely not, but my desire to affirm Stephanie's newfound confidence easily wins. I don't mind if you do, but I warn you, I have high expectations. Your expectations will be met, rest assured. Before anything else can be said, Roy steps back inside the living room. You're sitting awfully close to each other. Stephanie yelps, scooting far too far away from me for my liking. Is he serious? We weren't even touching knees. I accept your relationship because I trust Hazel will make you happy, but I expect no funny business until you're both mentally and financially ready to be parents. What? Huh? You do know I can't get her pregnant, right? That's true. But still! Stephanie, what? Embarrassed. Boys, please. Royce and Stephanie start bickering back and forth. I watch them with a fond smile. Compared to when I first met her, Stephanie's so much more confident and expressive now. It's like a heavy weight has been lifted off her shoulders. Although I'd like to claim credit for her development, I know it was nothing more but a pillar of support. It's Stephanie's determination and genuine passion to improve that's brought us here together. But her emotional strength is only one of the many, many reasons why I like Stephanie. And though I might never be able to name them all, I know there will be many more reasons to come. With time, I'm sure there will even come a day when I can confidently confess I'm in love with her. Romantic end, and as sudden an ending as all of the others have been.
Dun, 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 dun.
Cute! Cute though. I like that. I actually made it to one full route this time. Well, one ending. We still have the dramatic ending, but we're gonna do the dramatic ending next time. Ah, that's nice. I'm so glad I finally played the game again. That was fun. Stephanie was seriously cute. I know I'm just repeating what the game was very, very into telling me pretty much all the time, how Stephanie is so cute, she's so adorable, but it is true! It is true! She is cute! She is adorable. Thank you for the pat. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. The plan is to hopefully continue playing the game on Sunday. Because tomorrow is gonna be Digimon. And Saturday is gonna be Persona. So it should be more of this game on Sunday. And then we can finish, and we can do her dramatic ending and the extra part. And then we'll see how much time that actually takes up, and then gonna move on to Jason Cameron, and then we have seen every love interest at least once, and then we can switch the whole thing around. Yippee! No, that's going to be it. Glad I started a little early. So that's gonna be it. I wish all of you a very, very good night. Thank you so much for coming by. And I'm sending you over to Karin, who is playing. I have no idea what it is. What is that? Garage Bad Dream Adventure. It's a retro game. I feel like with retro games, I'm actually like for real out of my depth. I know some obscure games, but with retro gaming, I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't old enough when this game originally came out, I think.
No, thank you for coming. Let me set up the right real quick. Go. Here's the right message. Have a very, very good night, everyone. See you all very soon. Hopefully for some fun Digimon tomorrow, where the world is maybe fucking dying. We'll see how that goes. Have a good night. See you all soon. Night. And bye-bye. Bye-bye.